Okay, so we are up to session number 109, and that brings us to phase 3, season 2, episode 1, and that's where I realized that I forgot to update that to say we're actually level 12, which is also a nice thing to have.
Yay! Woo! Not that actually updated my character yet, but we'll deal with that later.
We'll get there.
We'll deal with that problem
I'm sure there was nothing important at this level.
No, not at all. Not at all. The last 2 weeks I've had zero time to do anything. Oh well.
That's okay. I'm sure we will catch up at some point and walk you through what needs to be done. Okay, so we also have everyone at the table for a change.
Yay!
I'm sure it's much easier to actually see what's happening. Okay, so with the new storyline, I'll bring you in what's happening after we introduce everyone. So we will start with Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I play Charbel, the Paladin.
I think you forgot an A.
I forgot nice somewhere.
It's quieter in person.
It is quieter in person.
It doesn't help the studio bike fix on
Oh yeah, it seriously does. So yeah, Charbel's a 6.5 to 7 foot Nazi, who is a fiery, hot-headed character who does everything in the name of Tubac. Morals will be yeah, pretty much. And morals will be checked at a later date, hopefully.
Checked
checked later.
I'm sure you'll have fun checking everyone else's morals to see if they match your own.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Don't worry, we'll just get burnt till Christmas.
Currently still Archangel.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got nice fiery wings to fly.
So then we move on to one of the few non-flying people in the game.
I was just about to say that, but never mind.
What about me?
I mean, technically...
But don't you have boots and that cause you to fly?
No, I have a flying mount. Technically,
I believe you were given boots as well. So.
Yeah.
Boots? Oh.
Yeah, that's your parachute.
Oh. But that's parachute. That's not technically flying. That's more like gliding or hitting the ground slowly.
But that's featherfall.
That's featherfall, yes, true. I play Zal, your ever lovable cleric wizard.
Failed Ranger.
Thank you very much.
Failed Ranger.
Or that only happened, what, 80 odd sessions ago?
Oh yeah, something like that. Still not living that one down.
And you still never live it down.
Yeah.
Yes, you shouldn't have used that dagger.
Well, I have returned that dagger.
It's the reason why it says in the name. Ranger.
Because that's the reason why you don't have the dagger anymore.
Well, no.
I got killed by using that dagger in melee combat because it saw a floating, a fish flopping around on outside of a river. So leaped over this stream, stabbed the fish, and then the roper that was dangling the fish on the side of the river opened his mouth and went, nah.
Mind
and
you,
killed the character.
the rest of the party saying, that looks like a trap.
No, the ranger completely ignored that. Pretty sure I also failed.
Don't worry, the one training using ranged weaponry decided to
That's
go,
fine,
I'm gonna go up and stab this thing!
I just use ranged magic now. I learned my lesson, right?
If I remember correctly, even your ranged missiles, well, shooting was not very good because of the rule that Jeff ended up becoming a pink cushion because of it.
That was when I
Sometimes.
first.
Yeah.
That was when I was first a cleric. Okay, I'm better now.
No, that's when you were still a ranger.
Was I still a
Yep.
ranger?
Yeah.
During Ranger and Cleric.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, you did,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
That's right.
And then I got machine gunned by your bloody uncle.
Yeah.
With one of magic missiles.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still running around with that brooch of shielding. Because I don't trust magic missiles.
But yes, no, I'm one of the few non-flying members of the party, but I do have technically have 2 flying mounts. The Acme doesn't really fly that great. He kind of also
Falls
slowly to the
Flaps
ground.
heavily.
But yes, I have my griffin and I also have my horse Artemis, which I think is mostly spending this season in my lands because we're at sea. and probably my axe beak as well, which is going to be really. Actually, no, he's probably going to come with me. He's going to not do well with because at least I can keep an eye on him, and he gets fish guts and just guts in general from the sea. Anyway.
Okay, and then we're over to Ross.
Yes, I play Yodri, swashbuckling pirate, sorcerer, warlock.
Crusher of ships.
What?
Crusher of ships. Ooh, like we got one down.
No, of flying vehicles. Ships are
Sorry, crusher of flying vehicles.
And it was so notorious that he hasn't actually piloted many ships in the storyline.
Yes. Yep.
Yes,
I think
the last time I was actually, the first time and the last time I was able to pilot something was only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think
With no problems whatsoever.
You successfully rode us down a river.
No, we went up a river and then down a river.
Fine. Up and down a river.
Yes. With my...
But now our lives are in your hands. The mercy of the sea. This is going to be fun.
No, we're still inland.
At the moment?
It'll be on a great lake, but the lake is so big it may as well be a sea.
Yeah, okay, well, close enough.
Yeah, but it's still fresh water.
At least it won't be
Fresh-ish.
At least it won't be sharks, right?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Give me a minute.
There be sharks in here. There be undead sharks in here.
Seriously, my track record with big things with sharp teeth is not good, okay?
Well, just because your nickname could be Chew Toy.
Yeah.
Or in your eyes, sea creatures as well.
Yeah, if I see the Kraken, I'm out.
The thing is, you won't see the Kraken, you'll just see the dangly fish hanging off in front of it.
I'm so offended right now.
Does this mean your character is averse to seafood?
I don't know, probably.
Oh, live fish.
Maybe certain types of fish that may or may not look like a rope's bait.
Next up we have is Gary.
And I'm playing Anton Sugar, a Traladaran warlock, who is wondering whether or not, hoping that they happen that he is worthy of the trust placed in him with all these new shiny magic items he's got. He doesn't know quite what to do with. Anton also does not fly, is used to keeping his feet on the ground, and now has to ride a boat after some rather disappointing experiences trying to ride a griffin.
So look, we even have a perfect demonstration of what we're doing today.
Yeah, I know. I'll definitely be keeping my... I hope this boat floats well. I hope it's very stable.
Yeah, talk to Yodri about that.
Yeah, okay. Well, so far Yodri has done a reasonable job with piloting a barge up and down a river. So far, positive as far as I can tell.
No, you've not seen him crash anything on your watch.
I have not seen him crash anything. And I have learned that halflings have a very good reputation as boaters.
Among other things in their reputation.
I've got every confidence in it. The fact that I can't swim and can't breathe underwater is just the same as I can't fly and I don't have feather falling. So,
Could be worse.
could be worse.
Next up we have is Izzy.
Hi, I'm Izzy, and I am playing Israel Mystara, or Fairy, because no one can pronounce her name, and that's fine.
What about Izzy?
Yeah, that's also fine. But no, they.
I'm sorry, do you want to run that by us again?
No, not really. Israel Mystara.
I will name you Hum.
Funny. She's a little fairy dragon, and the reason she's called Fairy is because her former owner, you couldn't pronounce her name, which went probably trying to say fairy, but yeah, it's fine. It's stuck. He also tried to call the pet weasel a cat, or was spelling it CAT, and that's the name that stuck too. So hey, it's just full of puns.
Current temporary cup until the typhlosion gets repaired, replaced one day. I like it how my thumbprint has left a little mark.
That's alright. You'll see the fairy sometimes. Other times you'll see a giant lion
So
or
there are
various other
Though
horrific monsters.
I believe that they'll most likely identify you with the flying cat,
Yeah.
which has a familiar of a fairy dragon.
Yep, that is most likely the case.
So
Yeah.
if we say
I thought that would have been a better introduction, but
Yeah.
I like this
No,
part.
there's a flying cat and there's a little dragon that follows around on it, and
we
sometimes the dragon's not there, and sometimes it's a lion, and sometimes it's other horrible things.
Can we just say Idri for short? 'Cause
Yeah,
I think
that's
they were the first two syllables.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, so if we say the name backwards, the fairy dragon disappears.
No,
No,
I
just-
believe you've entered into a pact with the fairy dragon, and the fairy dragon gets to specify the terms.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was about to say we're all doomed.
Once you do things with a fairy, bad things generally happen.
Just don't feed her coffee.
I was
For
about
love
to say
of God.
caffeinated.
For love of God, don't feed her coffee.
Like, great. It's all good. There's no possible way to do that
Who
badly.
aren't we feeding coffee to?
The fairy dragon.
Why not?
Because
All
it's
the
a fairy.
all the
Oh,
experts.
you know what happens to Pixie?
No,
You don't know what
that's
happens to
Pixie.
fairy
That's right,
dragon.
Pixie, that's right.
Yeah, they might.
Close enough, okay?
The thing is, they might become murder hobos.
If only you had an army of pixies at your disposal right now.
Apparently, all we need to do is go back to
I take
Galantry
it,
and like catch them all, right? Or wait.
I take it we are up to Calvert.
We are up to Ariadna.
So this is just general introduction. I haven't met Faye just yet.
This is your
it's
general
not
introduction.
very, it's all good.
Yep, so over there, peeking over the battlefield, is Calcrix's usual representative, the White Dragon with the jazz wings. And currently, her tiny companion Eep, who looks like a Sarracenia, which is a tulip-shaped, I think tulip spouted shaped carnivorous plant. I have to figure out how to describe her just a little bit better for people who have no idea of what a Sarracenia is. Look it up, guys. Get a dictionary. Google it. She looks like a large dragon. She looks like a large white dragon, except she's got black tips on her horns and black going down her centre spine and blue going alongside it. And she has a remarkable set of gold-coloured scars in one wing, for which there are a lot of rumours that have gone from the battlefield about the story of the great white dragon that fell when struck and was dragged off the field by a tiny little black-looking plant that yelled death to the infidel to anybody who approached said wounded dragon, including the undead who made way for her to take the dragon off the field. She also has her partner with her that's not with her right now, which is Grindelwald the Brewmaster. He's her gnome friend, and he's currently tending her coffee plantation on her homeland. I think that's me.
That is it. And this will start off a little differently than some of the others where you get a background of what's happening. This one you're getting thrown into the deep end.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm probably the only one who can breathe underwater.
Nope.
Not guaranteed. Most of the things that go under the lake don't come back up again.
On a dark and stormy night.
I think of Fairy as an all-terrain vehicle. She has climb speed, fly speed, a swim speed.
Dark and stormy night.
Sweet. Fairies are 4x4.
This can attach to anything. Just be aware that your backpack may actually be a fairy dragon.
Yeah, great.
Or a mimic.
No, that's
Can be both.
Paladin's problem. Remember the mimic painting or drapery, whatever it was?
Oh, yeah, just film it.
Yeah.
Painting, drapery,
You're tiny.
rug.
She was Proshka's size.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Product.
I actually suggested she get a pseudo dragon as a familiar, and then interplay it between yours and Proshka every now and then to just
Okay,
confuse.
that would just
Anton.
confuse lots of people.
Yep.
Especially because you turn around and your pseudo dragon would be a completely different color. It's like,
Because I'm in telepathic communication, I know where Proshka is all the
Oh,
time.
I can do telepathy. Do you want to play that? That's fine.
But it's not going to be the same telepathy, you see. It's going to be an additional signal.
Oh, great.
See,
I could just see
Tommy
the
won't be
familiars going off
magic
on their
bullshit,
own.
But anyway. or something along that lines.
Like in Clone Wars, where the droids do their secret mission, the familiars go off to do their secret mission with the fairy dragon as the leader.
She'll lead them all. Okay, so everything is strangely quiet. Nothing seems to be trying to cross the lake. Halflings have mined the lake with various dangers, believing the master ill-equipped to deal with their navigational hazards, north and south of Ethengar Island, which is the big island in the center that no one looks at.
And that's where we are.
You're in that lake, yes.
Oh, okay.
So Ethengar Island is a cursed island. Anyone who looks at the island stands on the island. Anyone who stands on the island never leaves.
Okay.
Yay!
So very few people get in sight of the island because it is a cursed place. It's also, you found out, it is the part of the Terresk of the lake. So there's probably many reasons why things die in that region.
Nom 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 nom. True.
So
Did my scars just like make a shot through pain from where I got chomped by that T-Rex?
I'm sure it's a great way of showing observance to the god Ka, as he is a T-Rex after all.
So we're
Is that the
sitting
one
on a
that's watching
rocking.
me?
No, that's not the one watching you.
Look, Carl's death.
Ka is not one of the primal gods.
Oh, okay.
So we're sitting on a rocking boat that's gently rocking with only small waves and it's nice and calm.
No, as I said, on a dark and stormy night. I said the scene already, guys.
Dark and stormy. I don't mind dark and stormy, so long as we're on a stable platform.
Yeah,
Well, I would say that, except at the moment, the lake is completely smooth and flat.
Damn it.
that's even worse.
There have been no storms for the last 6 months. Not a single storm in the region, not a single cloud.
That's not good.
No rain over winter over.
There's no tide as well, guys. Remember we told you about the tide?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to rig up the decanter so we've got a method of movement.
Is the lake drying out, or is it still?
No one's really reported if it's raised or lowered.
Okay.
I think it would be noticeable if it was lowering.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. You'd sort of see that like that looks where that's where the lake level used to be. It's now
But
down
the
here now.
time period for it to
Drain
become
out.
noticeable is going to be a long time.
Considering it's also the point where a Tarrasque fell from the sky.
Oh, so it's incredibly deep.
It is. It has a titan
I didn't know
inside.
Tyraxes could fly.
They can't.
No, it literally got knocked into the sky that high that it looked like it was flying. It got its ass KO'd back into the lake terribly.
So, you get word from the halflings that have been working with you for quite a few months on the lake, setting up various traps and surprises for the master. You know that most of their tools will burn most vehicles to the water line in seconds. If you so much as click their little surprises under the water.
Okay,
Yeah, so
I'm
please don't roll that one. Just saying.
I'm sounding like that we should make the defence on the lake shore, not going on the lake, I think.
And they've also added in bunches of fish that they have bred that also eat various woods. They leave the halfling boats alone because the halflings have treated theirs especially.
Including our boat, I
So
hope.
who are leaving halfling boats alone?
The wood-eating fish.
Ah, this is good to know.
It's Strahd.
He is.
And his wagon?
Not his wagon,
Okay.
just him.
Just a-
He's left his wagon on shore with his horse.
Here goes this one.
Can you pass this to Josh? Do you want any food?
I wouldn't mind something to eat.
Do you want a meal or got some biscuits
something small will be fine. And so word reaches you that to the north and south, heavy fighting has occurred, and they've asked the fleets to help out. So the halflings have sent most of their forces north and south to help in the war effort, leading you to alert them if anything really happens on the lake, because they believe it's fairly safe right now.
Yep, we're in the reserve. I'm liking this.
No, we're about to go up
It sounds like
What's this? Conscript to the front line. Sounds brilliant.
No, the master's just gonna rip straight through the center when there's like no defense from it.
As word reaches you that through Sherval, that the master is employing mechanized soldiers.
Mechanized.
Way.
I thought he had undead.
That didn't succeed. So he's ramped up probably.
Alright.
Mechanized.
And they're believed to be using gnome tech,
What's that?
which means the mechanized creatures all have souls of those he's captured. That is literally the Warforged's introduction.
Yep.
Previously they were used for, the gnomes built them for maintenance and basically heavy
Punishment.
lifting. Not punishment, that was actually used to maintain their settlements.
Yeah, but they're also being used for punishment.
Punishment was basically if you've harmed their people in any way, they utilize your life force to undo the harm you've done.
Okay. Do we know if they're vulnerable at all to any damage types?
Fireball!
Fireball, okay. I hope someone's got fireball. I'm looking at the wizard.
Hi.
Greek fire.
And that they're all made of metal is the beating that comes through, and that lightning doesn't work on
Okay. We don't have fire or lightning, so it doesn't
Why
really
have I
matter.
got to add image of Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah, I'm not going to come across the top. They're going to come from the bottom and walk across.
And so I will give you a perception check to see if you can notice what's happening.
Sure.
Way.
I did say see. There's always an
Is it
interesting thing.
visual or listening or anything like that?
I'm going with visual.
Okay.
Not 20.
Natural 20.
Not 20.
The ranger is actually doing something.
should I participate?
Thank
You're welcome to participate in this one because you will be there. This is
Total
you've
of-
been with them for at least 3 months by this time.
Oh yeah, that's not the same.
No.
I haven't done
Well,
this.
obviously
We've
not
done
taking
this
notice of what's
We
going
will
on.
be having a flashback dealing with you joining them.
31?
I'm not sure what my new plus stats would be, but
Most likely not have changed.
not have changed. Okay, well plus 4, so 20.
Unless, of course, you're unlikely to have gotten an attribute bonus because you're doing the. Yep. Oh no, perception.
Just perception, and that's for everyone.
Yep.
That's for the table. That should be enough for everyone. It's peppermint Oreos.
Oh my god, we're being attacked by peppermint.
Wait, no, they're the
Or-
mines.
Oreos.
we just put them like throughout the fields.
And there is your one you put in on Tuesday.
So, I don't know. Have you learnt to behave yourself yet?
Probably not.
Probably
We'll find out. So my perception is
Yeah, I didn't bring any today, but that's.
my perception shouldn't have changed.
Well, I can dig out my dice of shame if you like.
So
They're guaranteed to roll badly.
my perception.
Okay.
It'll be 11 plus 8.
I do actually have, I think I have advantage on perception rolls normally. I didn't, so. Should check that. Seems relevant. I mean, I got a 31, so it's not super.
So how did Anton do?
14.
How did Yodri do?
I got the average.
How do you Shogun?
Non-natural.
I don't think I'm paying attention.
So how much did you get in total again?
14.
14's not too bad. It's above average. Anything above 10 is considered good. Anything
Oh,
above 20 is
natural
considered
4.
extraordinary.
Yeah.
Anything above 30 is almost godlike.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Godlike.
Literally, yes. If you are fighting any of the avatars of gods, you're looking at 30 plus to actually interact with her.
Yeah, or easy or
Average
Sorry.
natural 5.
because we're a bit stuck here. Thanks.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
want to
get
duck back out and get your food, or do you get
Is
one
it-
of the
Away wouldn't go.
Just let us know when to go with time.
He's hopefully just around the corner, so he'll hopefully not.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries.
Nah.
You get a message that he's left at the door.
Oh, that sounded like a knock.
No, I think that
Doesn't
was
sound like a knock.
Yeah, I got it. Sorry, Mavericks.
Yeah, so you see a fog coming across the lake in the distance, obscuring everything.
No?
A fog.
Or maybe being around doing some stuff. Those of you who got 20 and higher noticed that the blue-green colour of the lake is
Also, mine's
slowly
lovely.
changing to a blue-red.
Red, red.
Ex-rangers and druids might know what that means.
So I missed the.
Okay, so the normal blue-green colour of the lake is changing to a blue-red.
Wow.
Where that, from your nature law, you know that the blue-green it's quite full of life.
I think that was
Yeah, I think that was
I know you just sat down.
It's at home too.
In my brain, I'm hearing the Tubblewomba song. As soon as you get down, you gotta get back up again. Which is much better than just dropping it and losing.
I have no idea.
No.
Do you have any color or anything?
No, it's,
No, it's all good.
it's burgers, so.
And food.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so those of you who roll high in the upper 30s see glints of metal in the clouds coming towards you, looking like they're about 20 feet up in the air.
Okay.
It does that include me with
Everything
my
flies. Why does everything
upgraded?
fly?
Which form am I in? Is this relevant?
So you may want to start off in your main form and worry about switching when you need to.
No, honestly, the reason I was thinking is because one of my forms has telepathy out to 120 feet, so I can communicate with people. And that's
Except for Calcrix. She's got the Ring of Mind Shielding.
That's bad. Because honestly, the koala is probably the best form for right now, which is why I was thinking I would be flying along in that form because I can also tell everyone what's going on. I'll choose that to be the current state.
Oh, I have a little pixie figure to represent you as the right sort of size on the table because that's the closest I had at the moment.
Perfect. That'll do. So that the flying snake will boom into your minds to say there's something flying in the clouds.
Okay, so Yodri, you're at the helm of the boat. So it's one of the small little gnomish ones.
Yeah.
The halflings have given it some upgrades. It is small, it is vast.
Okay, so basically maneuverable.
We are agile.
And it has it only goes up to 5 feet below the waterline. Anything further than that, and you're hitting the obstructions the halflings have put all over the place.
So what was the things that we saw floating above the water?
Just glints of metal
Oh, just like
coming from the folk coming towards you.
Oh,
And I
fantastic.
have broadcast this to the entire party. Well, except Calfrix. You guys can tell Calfrix. Sorry, Calfrix. If you take the ring off, I can tell you too.
Any mirror image can't duplicate the boat. Actually, it's sorceress. Not strong.
I'm just wondering we get some idea of numbers, or we have to wait till they're closer.
Well, if it's a fog, it's probably fairly large.
How big's the fog?
Across the horizon.
Okay.
Is it artificial fog or just?
Well, you can see it at the distance. It looks like it's maybe about 5-6 miles away.
Okay. Does anybody know anything about what is it? Metal forged? I don't know. Warforged. I'm just wondering what.
Only out of game.
At the moment, they've called them constructs made out of metal.
Okay, I'll just work on the assumption they're constructs, because I really don't know what.
Give
what
me
we're working
The
against them or
easiest
not.
way is to disable the gem.
Give
but the
me
gems
a
are
contact, a Arcana roll for Anton because he has more chance than others of knowing about it.
I don't know.
I might sack that dice.
He comes from a community that interacts with the gnomes on a regular basis. You stole from the
There's
gnomes.
already a dice job, that's better.
So he's grown up with them as part of his.
It's not forbidden knowledge though, is it? So 20 for an Arcana roll.
Okay, so but you can make an Arcana roll if you want to. Just your DC is higher, you can spend most of your life growing up with them.
That's a 14.
Okay, so it doesn't really ring a bell with you. But Anton does remember that the gnomes had invented mechanical clockwork-like creatures that were servants powered by the community, literally. And the criminals of the community were then volunteer over other people.
Yeah, okay. I'm lucky I avoided that fate.
Does 25 get me anything as well?
From the Ethengar perspective, you haven't dealt that much with the war creatures.
Sorry, I should get making, but I figured out my phone earlier. So you were saying, was it a role about knowing about gnomish stuff
Yep.
and with Calfrix
Calfrix would have a chance
have
with
a
Grindelwald.
chance because of
Yeah,
your
because
connection
you
to
probably
the
definitely
gnomes?
have a clockwork copy making machine somewhere.
Yeah, that's another 11.
Oh,
It's another 11, which is like a 20 on that one.
And I believe you have a +8 on that.
Is it wisdom or
More like intelligence.
It would be a +7. I'm reading these new stats right. It's a 3.
Oh yeah, sorry, +7, yes.
Yeah. It's a good thing that I checked, I guess. Or a bad thing, because if I go on with you, I'd be one better. So that's an 18. 18.
You do remember Grindelwald talking about the constructs?
Yep.
Then you also remember that you faced them at a different time.
Right, okay, so that's the other thing. Do I remember anything from my past? I'm potentially. Or is that a separate role?
No, you do remember some of what happened on Tuesday night.
Okay, alright, so this is the thing. Okay, so how much am I allowed to remember and pass on?
Well, it's up to you as a player how well you can remember things. Because your memory can sometimes be pretty good.
In this case, it is because it was horrific. It was truly horrific. So the question is how much of the horror do I get to tell them? Ooh. So guys, these constructs are actually made from this very special weapon that the gnomes made, and it's one of the reasons why my land has got an influx of refugees of gnomes, because they are terrified of this. and they tried really hard not for this to get out. This is called a soul-forged construct, and it is using the souls of our dead peoples to power these constructs. They will not only be powering them, but they will have some amount of intellect to them. You can't just necessarily rely on them to act like undead might act. And they are going to be much harder to hit, harder to keep down, and you are going to be faced with the souls of possibly children who don't realise that they're being used for this, who are going to very innocently and naively greet you, and it is not going to be easy to face. I have not faced these on the water before. I've only faced them on land, but when I faced them on land, they constructed a barrier that was so powerful, even our best fighters were struggling to get through it.
So, wall of force. They had a movable wall of force.
I have wall of force myself. These guys are doing it at a higher, what's the word? Proficiency than I have.
They are doing it as the equivalent of a activated magical light.
Do not use lightning on them. It will just recharge them. Your best weapons are melee weapons, fire,
That crazy.
and just seeing if I can remember what the other ones are.
Fireballs worked well.
Fireballs worked really well, so the good old Eldritch Blast, or is it Magic Missile?
It wasn't magic missile that they used. They were using the arrows of life against them.
Yeah. So you're looking at those sorts of weapons rather than.
Oh, so you mean my archery skills are actually gonna come in handy?
Yes. Ranged attack is recommended. Once that wall starts coming up close, it will just start pushing us back. Or, I'm not sure, they might absorb us and they might take our souls instead and use them for. When he absorbs a soul, the master gains all knowledge that soul has. We are better off if it comes to a point of running than we are of trying to stand until we die. Because if he gets us with our knowledge, we'll have a distinct advantage over our forces. I think our best play here is to just slow them down as much as we can.
Thin them out, alert people.
Yeah. That's what I think is going to be the best play here.
High level detect dispel magic can bring down the force and can disintegrate. I've got
Disintegrate doesn't always work.
No, disintegrate.
I don't
also,
have it, so it's a
I have
The
disintegrate.
big thing you know about wall of forces is force damage is what brings it down.
Yeah.
It is actually vulnerable to all other types of damage besides dispel magic, and you have to deal it in one single blow.
Okay, where's that wand?
I have dispel
One of
magic
magic
and
missiles.
I have wall
The
force
oozing.
and I have disintegrate.
So you want to use that once and then wait until a long rest.
Disintegrate will
The clip.
only target one person.
No, the
Whereas
ones they single use
quite a lot of the
basically,
time
or
we
limited
found
use.
I think that wand got given out from my inventory because I
has
don't
been
use it.
effective until what we see in this initial charge here, this is just their little guys. There are going to be bigger and bigger things coming at us as they progress through. And I'm talking huge and gigantic sizes. So this will be a very overwhelming force that comes our way.
So do you think these things that are coming towards us now are scouts?
Less scouts and more just wearing us down and using up our spells. So keep it to your low level. Don't pull out your big guns right now because we're gonna need them.
And I will add a little bit more info there that Carcrix had skimmed over.
Sorry.
They have ranged weapons. They fire balls of explosive bludgeoning weapons
Sorry.
that hit something and then create a fireball where they hit it.
Wow. Like full-sized fireball, like as in
Bigger than a normal fireball,
Wow.
depending on what's firing it. The bigger it is, the bigger the ball, the bigger the explosion. Basically, they have firearms with explosive ammunition.
Master's
I am
not joking
really
around
annoyed
now,
that,
is he? So,
Which is literally the introduction to the war that brings the Everon stuff into the setting.
It's okay.
fireball.
You just want someone to watch you wriggle.
So he will be
Can I put my
dealing
coffee down
fire
first?
damage
Apparently not.
and bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, no, I mean like for us to counter them. So like fireball, which is bolts, the arrows of light that. Who's the other archer? No, am I the only one with?
You're now the only archer.
I'm now the only archer.
Chauvel is really well equipped to be on the boat with you at the moment. If Chauvel didn't have her wings, Chauvel would be sitting there just basically waiting until the master actually reaches you.
Yeah. Yay. So I'm proficient of shooting off
Moving,
areas, right?
moving things, yes.
Yeah.
I would have to work out future research on how I can actually make mirror image work on area effect.
And lucid terrain is one of the ways you do that.
Yeah.
And it also comes through that that there's a lot of issues with the things coming in. The north and south side of the lake are being attacked from over a mile away. So the north and south side keeps are both being attacked long before they're engaging the forces.
One of the secret craft spells I had listed is Blade Bond. This is a third-party one that I think you had listed. I wanted to check with you its use in this situation. When you cast this spell, the caster's body becomes capable of wielding any metal weapons that strike it. If it's hit by any metal weapon, the wielder must succeed a reflex save, or that weapon is immediately absorbed by the spellcaster's body and taken away. Well, is that the right version? I'm just thinking about these special.
Quite possibly, what's the source for that one?
Frog God Games.
Yeah, that should still be good.
Cool.
Because those are really messed up spells.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at, going, okay, cool.
I pick really messed up spell source books.
Cool. I just like the fact that I can eat their weapons and turn it into enhancement bonuses.
So expect that they have that too.
I don't have I don't have metal weapons. That's fine.
Okay. So as you're watching, you're seeing that this fog cloud is rolling in, and that's what I remember I was going to say is they report that the smoke from their effects is a acidic fog.
City.
Yeah, burning
Okay,
everything it
so
touches.
it's a death cloud.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Which
So this is where Gus would have been useful, which I think I don't have now because I switched over.
quite possible.
Although I could possibly do something with my wings.
I'm highly tempted to melt all over these people as a black pudding. I'm just like, I'm immune to acid. Come here.
So basically we need to get the boat moving, right?
Yes.
Okay, so which of you is going to take charge?
Who's better at strategy?
As you realise that
What?
most of the other vehicles that are supporting the gnomes aren't in sight at the moment, as they're trying to help the north and the south side of the lake, thinking that there's no way the master could possibly get through the half of the fences.
Yeah.
What's the...
Well-
How far away do we think the other boats are?
The other ones coming towards you, you're thinking about that 5 to 6 mile, but you're seeing it across the horizon.
The allies?
your allies are heading north and south. So they're heading to the lake at the fort at the very top and the fort at the very bottom.
Okay, so, and each one of those cubes is...
8 miles.
8 miles, okay.
So they are literally. So you'd be somewhere between. Where is my mouse? Somewhere between the Raznarak Rock and Greenleaf Island area of the lake, in reserve, waiting to see where you're needed most.
If we need to go towards one to upwards or downwards, is that right?
So you can choose to go supplement one of the fleets and lead the fleet, or stay and see what's coming your direction. What do you want to do?
Do I have still?
It's just us. There's no one else here.
You can't see any other boats in the vicinity. Because, well, the halflings do tend to move around a lot using their own magic to create wind. Their sails are always full.
If I have clairvoyance, can I use that to see if I can think it lets me? I don't think I do that.
I remember I don't remember putting it into your thing.
No, I don't.
I believe it got dropped off somewhere.
Yeah, it did get dropped off, I think. Are you able to just look that up quickly for me?
So a range of a mile. The target location from me to your places of the Sin4 of is unfamiliar.
Okay, so you'd have to get closer.
Okay, yeah, so it'd have to be much closer for it to be effective to...
And within the range of their weaponry.
Yeah.
And while you're looking that up, I'm going to duck to the bathroom as you figure out what you'd like to
I'd
do.
also like to say that I've already created a blinder
Yep.
for my rituals.
Just so I don't trip over the key.
Oh, I do. It's sitting down here on the level 3 rituals. So yeah, that's just that's the thing. Oh, although there's one that I forgot about that I could have put into effect, which would be really helpful, but I didn't have a chance to roll it up because of migraines. Can you look up? I don't know if it's in that book because it might be near that book. Battle Mind. If it's not in there, don't be too worried.
Is it a spell or a
It is a. I've got it as a ritual, but it is a spell.
battle cry?
No, it might not be in that book because Martin gave me a secondary book to look up dragon spells in as well, so it might be.
I've got it here. It's one of these open source ones. That's right, because I've been looking at the third-party stuff that has been going on.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Battle Mind. What's the? I get that as a ritual as well. Gain a preternatural sense of surrounding area. What's the distance?
it's like concentration. It's on self.
Okay, so that might be worthwhile casting. Battle Mind.
Never mind. Yep.
I didn't get time to copy it out, so it'll be in the book, but
I've got it
Ethan's
here.
got it up.
I'll message you via Facebook or something if that's easy.
Will that work for you, Martin, or will you just grab the book? I do think it's post-it noted, and it'll be one of the earlier post-it notes.
This is reaching the right book, is that?
Yeah.
In terms of what we want to do now,
So you
it's
want
the
to do
battle
magic?
mind.
I think it's somewhere over there.
I was pretty sure I had deep magic over. Oh, there it is. It is over there. Sorry.
Please.
Makes it hard to reference.
I did think I had a lot of books of it. It is probably one of those post-it notes.
I just sent you the.
No, more like the
I just sent you the details.
Yeah.
Martin sometimes likes to look.
Oh, yes, I just messaged it to you.
He certainly knows that, especially today, my hand feels like it's just been passed by an electric plug or something like that. All the joints kind of feel broken. So I'm not eager to touch an electronic device right now.
So, Battle Mind will last you 10 minutes.
Yep.
Uh,
I can do it as a ritual, though.
yes, you can.
which might mean that I could cast it as a spell a bit further into the battle as well. If I'm willing to lose the spell slot.
Yeah.
But would that give
Well,
us direction?
you're thinking you've got hours before they reach you.
That would give us direction on
Very slow.
where we want to
Can I
position
determine how
ourselves.
long we're going to, how far, how long will
Do you have a
take?
spyglass?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a insight roll while you're looking through your spyglass.
That's
Soon as
a 19.
I see Yodri pull out his, I will pull out mine. Is that okay?
Yeah. What does Fairy wish to do?
I'm just thinking it would take me an hour to reach the allies if we've got time. That's why I was just wondering if there's.
But do you want to bring the allies away from the fort?
That's what my question is. If that's going to be beneficial to meeting the war front, or if like the other option for me is to do something like cast Tensor's transformation, which
Because the reports are coming in that both forts are falling.
there are yeah. Okay. So there's no
The
point in
northern
seeking
port
backup
has no roads leading out, so if they don't get evacuated by sea, the entire army is wiped out.
Yeah, okay. So our best bet here is then to.
Apparently my pearl dice rolls 11s. Just 11s. Because it's the third or
It's
fourth
weighted.
11 in a row. So
At least it's weighted in the positive though.
plus a
Slightly
so
above
that's
average.
19
19.
on insight, which I think is roughly
And what was Yodri's insight?
Mine's 19.
So apparently 19 is the number for today.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to try out one of my other dice and hope I don't regret it later.
As you're looking closer at these fog clouds, you do see what appear to be floating structures in front of the fog. They look to be just glints of light without the spyglass, but they appear to be weapon platforms with large mechanical weapons on the front of them.
Feeling like wave type move, force type things for that first. Actually, a water force would
And
work.
from Yodri's perspective, he has heard of cannons before. So it looks as if there are hundreds of cannons
So,
coming this way.
role playing. What are those things there? The really weird round. Caltrix
So
is
now
now
you-
frowning.
Now you know why the forts are falling.
She immediately passes you a cookie to see if that calms you down. Well, you're so shit. But she's hoping that you'll give her an answer after you get.
And then you start
said
hearing
cookie.
the cracks coming from over the water. Sounds like thunder, and there's no clouds.
yeah, we should
anywhere.
be out of range at the moment. But what the
You don't think it's not from what you're seeing?
Oh, okay.
You're hearing the attacks on the forts.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is a whole column across the lake.
And
So
I
it's
bet
across
you
the
the
entire
ammo
area.
is magically enhanced.
Of course it is.
Fucking gnomes.
Now you know why the gnomes have left. They
They
have
knew
literally
what-
pulled
they
out
knew
of
about the
entire
district.
region.
That's at the gnomes. They did not want to give this over. It was taken from them.
Let's see. Hopefully it's not mixed with any dwarven shit.
More than likely, because they killed dwarves on the battlefield as well.
They
Okay.
have taken the knowledge of everyone they killed,
every race they've
including the
encountered.
halflings.
So if we're seeing if anybody we had fighting for us,
That sucks.
they've got their
My
knowledge.
maximum range for my catapult is 60 feet.
Yeah,
I'm going to be shot to pieces before I get into that close.
And you have heard that they can literally shoot 3 to 4 mile with these things.
Yeah, they're...
And you're saying
Is
they're
there any
4
way we
6
can
out at the
disguise
moment?
our boat? Hide our boat?
Yeah.
They may not be accurate at that range, but they don't have to be. It
There,
just has
No,
to be
Mark
right.
said I
there
wouldn't
is,
need
but
invisibility.
unfortunately this happens to be daytime. If it was nighttime, it makes it be a lot easier.
but also the undead are stronger during the night.
Does anyone have any like control weather or something like that?
I think I've got
Not
some
to
weather
that
control
degree.
skills. But
The
I
problem
think
is
I've also-
weather control doesn't work right now.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
no,
I-
it doesn't.
These
Someone
are
woke
spells.
up. Someone
I'm
woke
just
up the
throwing out
storm.
ideas, things I
Titan
don't have.
And storm primal god, and it has stopped all weather effects.
Oh, so that's why there hasn't been rain.
Hasn't been rain. No crops have grown. nothing is flowered.
Oh, that's right. I did want to do that. Just going back because we didn't answer the question before, I wanted to see whether or not I could do a battle mind ritual
You can.
now to see if I could gain some inkling of information or understanding about what to do early on in this battle.
Okay, give me a Arcana check.
I don't know.
using Charisma, because that's your spellcasting stuff.
Don't know if I should use
Which
the 11
is,
dice.
Plus
11
10
dice
for
is
the
good.
roll.
Consistent
And
11 is good.
Battle
It's
Mind
gonna roll
is
up.
a 5th level thing, so the DC I believe is 20.
Oh, I get my 3 tokens, don't I?
You get 3 tokens.
I have those just. They can just sit on the board there so that you know when I'm using them. I'm gonna use one of my tokens. You can go in the dice jail.
Was that a 1?
It's a 4.
That doesn't deserve dice jail for a 4.
When I'm using Battle Mind, it does.
Sometimes these rolls really matter.
Oh, that's a lot better. It's 17, so plus charisma,
Plus
which is
10.
1. So 27.
Okay.
Hopefully that's
That is enough. You get up the Battle Mind. You can sense the lake is turning toxic.
okay.
Makes sense.
Right.
And something seems to be basically pushing all animal life to the eastern shore. It seems to be a mass migration of everything in the lake.
Do I get any sense of what my best defense is? Or
Not being there.
offense?
Okay. You can also give 3 allies less guidance or resistance that they can use on the next turn.
Did you guys prefer best guidance or resistance?
Probably resistance.
Yeah, but that only doesn't last that long.
Well, neither does guidance.
Can that guidance might help you make a decision?
Maybe.
Insight, perception. And right now, gathering knowledge is probably going to be helpful in the sense of figuring out how we're going to attack. And remember, my plan is to at least do this one more time, either in battle or closer to battle.
For good Eldritch Blast.
And we could do resistance then. So if anyone's got really good like perception or insight, I can give you less guidance. Is that right, Martin?
Perception.
So I might do...
And you also sense that none of the Master's forces are touching the lake.
I have an insight plus 8.
okay, so none of them are touching the water, so maybe try to get water onto them.
To be honest, I haven't.
You don't think
I
water's
don't
going to
think
affect them, they're just not
yet,
touching
so-
the
I
water.
don't like
Okay.
suggesting
Alright.
it's
They-
good.
they
We're
might-
sounding
they
like
might
you
go
should be flying.
Wisdom focused.
Alright.
So,
I
So-
don't like suggesting
so are
that.
these boats actually floating above the water?
They're in the air in front of the
Just to
toxic
make sure
cloud.
that you don't knock it down when we have to deal with the chaos. So I get 3 people I can give that to.
And you can do that every round for 10 minutes.
Okay, alright.
And then so if people want to do rolls with guidance, they can literally do rolls with guidance.
Yeah, and guidance. So guidance to Izzy, Fairy.
Yeah.
Who else wanted guidance?
Well, Yodri has a spyglass, so in the distance that's a good thing to have.
So Yodri and did
I mean,
you've got the you okay then
I,
done. Sal,
I've got
Yodri,
I've got an
and
insight and
Faye.
I can't.
Come on, Proud Ranger. Pull your load.
Yay.
So are
She's
these
a successful
gnomish
cleric.
floating vessels?
You believe that they are gnomish constructs.
I'd like to think it's set with love.
Probably incorporating some shadow of technology.
I just want to repeat my suggestion. As much as I dislike the idea, I think we should be flying, not staying on the surface of the lake.
Yeah, can we make the boat fly?
It doesn't have that capacity.
No,
But-
they do.
Flying
So if you
creatures-
want flying boats, you have to steal their boats.
I might have
Hey, and then we'll have cannons.
So we
And you
have,
don't
do
think
we have
that-
lots
you don't
of
think
flying
they're boats?
characters and creatures?
What?
What
You
we
don't
really
think
need
they're
to do
boats?
is get
Okay, those
locations.
flying large constructs. So they're flying Jaegers.
Flying sentient creatures.
Yeah. That have got a mind of a child.
Potentially a mind of a child. They could also have the mind of a warrior that's been fighting
I heard about that.
On the
war
battle
hard
line,
criminal.
is there a cost for spell components? Because I noticed some of the others rituals have.
So this one is you have a spider web or a small crystal orb that you have set aside that you pull out every time you're using it.
I'm gonna go with
So it's a reusable component,
crystal orb because.
but it's never expended. So you will gather this when you learn the spell.
And I'll need to add this to my items. I'll do that because
Unless the spell says consume the item,
Yes.
the material item.
well, that's why I was just
always
checking because I was just looking at a couple of like it costs 300 gold pieces. I'm like, well, if this costs money, I need to make a record of it and that I've actually spent that money, or spent those components.
Okay, I will give Yodri another perception roll with advantage.
Okay, that's a 26.
Okay, so having a look through the spyglass again, you can see glimpses of something massive behind the fog cloud that probably causing that reminds you of a gigantic colossus sort of flying construct, very much like the I think it's built in the vein of the gnomish flying city.
Great, they've got a battleship.
And
And-
why were we left alone in the middle of the lake again?
And this appears to be what is causing most of the fog that's spreading all over the lake. It's just pouring off this thing.
Okay. Trying to see whether or not we could board it on it. Flying. I'm thinking of the flying, not the floating.
The problem is that's what the gas is coming from. So
And you can only see what you think is the top portion of it, and it's just pouring all over this.
I
thing
can
into the-
sort of see that problem, but the problem here with it is scale. We've got nothing that works against things on miles long.
the stuff that we do is happen to be underwater.
So this thing seems to be maybe 100 times the size of the things in front of it. And you're not sure how close the things in front of it are because you don't have a frame of reference.
I could cast pass-through element on the ship that protects occupants to help cover us from the acid damage and that kind of thing as well. As a ritual.
And what's the area of effect? How big is it?
Can affect a vehicle and its occupants.
Yep.
It does say here that, and I don't know if you've already given this I can define the location of an invisible item. Is that the fish moving towards the east?
That was pretty much the leak of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can do that every round.
Yeah.
Is it possible to raise the gnomish stuff that's in the water, like, higher?
The stuff that the defences were designed to
Half.
keep wooden vessels.
Oh, okay.
Because up until now, he hasn't used anything more than base wood.
Yep.
I'm
And undead.
surprised though that they didn't make their explosive devices more general, as in wood-based rather than, you can bring all sorts of.
It will damage metal vessels that are in the water, but they have to be things that drop below 5 feet.
Yeah, so I guess what you're asking is there a way we can raise all these sea bombs
Yeah,
5
or-
foot above the water?
Yeah, or that, or push those floating things into the water, like a gravity kind spell.
And that's what I was
That
thinking.
exists.
And I did see a gravity spell, but didn't take that because I'm like, I don't think. Plus, a lot of these spells are, as you probably know, some of them are limited to one thing or
One
only
target.
like 5 feet.
Sphere of effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the ones I was looking at, like the Disintegrate one. It's a level 6 spell, but you can only really target a single object, particularly if you're looking at a huge object.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so
then the DC for actually hitting that huge object is
Yeah.
only like 20.
yeah, it's really high too. So yeah, a lot will depend on rolls as well. So the dice jar will probably get full.
Okay, so while you're debating this, we'll have a flashback.
Yay!
Flashback. Okay,
Flashback.
so Izzy, did you actually have what you had in mind in how you met the party?
Fairy's been following the party for weeks. She's
The
been
smell of coffee.
Well, no, it's just the talking animals and a dragon, like a horse, and another dragon, and dragonborn, and a murderous axe beak. This is all fascinating, and
And the murderous axe beak is always friendly to you.
yeah, it's lovely.
And it talks to you about murder constantly.
Which I think is hilarious.
Did you have a plan of how you're going to meet the party? Because I have a plan of how to meet you if you don't.
My plan was to meet you first, and then basically have you go, hey everyone, look, I found this really cool rabbit unicorn.
Did you want to do it that way then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so on our way to where we're heading to one of our locations, Calcrix as usual is bouncing along ahead, and she, being dragonkind, senses something and runs off to the side. I presume Zal's
Shiny.
kind of like stopped the whole group to watch where the dragon's gone. Would that be correct? Yep.
Sorry.
I presume Zal stopped the whole group while Calcrix has dashed off into some trees.
Oh, probably.
And so when I come across you, you're in your describe how you look. I find
Alrighty. So let's see. Given you'll probably find a her default form is either her natural self or a huge spotted lion.
well, you did say that you wanted to be in your bunny
Form.
unicorn, so
Yeah,
I can
let's
find you
let's
in
go.
that.
Let's go with the Almirage. We'll be
Yeah.
kicking around in the
'Cause-
Almirage, so nice and fun.
Calcrix will technically know that you're a dragon
Oh.
in another form,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
Calcrix will sort of come up and she'll offer you a cookie to start with,
Absolutely.
because that's her an equal. Bygorm. Yep. Is Bygorm the warning, or is it Death the Interval?
Normally, definitely, universe
Okay,
is
so
the warning.
Yeah.
so you see the little black plant creature on a horn say "Death to the Interval, infidel." But you'll probably have a sense that that's not a bad thing.
Say the,
And from your perspective, you are absolutely terrified of the little thing.
Yeah.
It scares the crap out of you.
Calcrix says, "Don't mind. She's friendly.
It's from the Fey Dark.
She's actually really friendly. And she's been my friend for a long time."
There are stories of these things absolutely walking through fairy dragon communities, just absorbing everything as it goes.
that is not okay. the rabbit suddenly speaks. What? Why is that here?
So, as soon as she kind of notes and then figures out that you're not precisely a unicorn bunny, even though you look like one, she's going
They're supposed
to.
to taste nice, and their feet are supposed to be extremely lovely.
She's going to kind of like come to like a skidding stop sort of thing. And just she's going to hold up a telling her just a sec. She's going to rummage in amongst her hooks and scales. And then she's going to pull out a bag, and then she gently lays it in front of you and says, the etiquette in my culture is to offer respect to other dragonkind a gift, but I understand your culture requires an obligation. I give you the
You are
choice. I give you the choice of offering me a story in return for this gift, so that you don't have an obligation, but of course, understanding the kind of creature you are, I would also enjoy a trick. Perhaps the kind of trick where we present your currently cute self to my party before you change into something else.
I think a trick sounds like a great idea.
And as you're saying that, you see the little carnivorous plant-looking blackness turn into a mirror of yourself, but just black, as if it's.
The cat's gonna hiss at it.
Eve will offer a cookie to the cat.
She has a sweet tooth, that's fine.
Eve offers the cookie to everybody. And you'll notice that the bag that she's offered to you is a bag of holding. She's also going to give you a little bow. And when she speaks to you, she speaks in Draconic. So full Draconic language.
And something that Fairy also knows is you missed the last portal back to the Feywild before it closed.
Yep.
You were just too busy pulling the last prank you wanted to pull, and turned around and the portal shut.
Yeah, it was a lot of things happened at that time, okay? I had fun, and then things went bad.
And that's where you broke up with your partner in crime, because he was on the other side of the portal.
And one of the last things that she will do is, upon giving you the bag of holding, she'll say, give you like a formal, if you'll please accompany me to attend, because part of the Draconic dragon showing respect is to make sure you make the invitation rather than make a demand, or so you need to make it sound like an invitation rather than a demand. So that's where the please and the...
This is all hitting
Thank you.
a wonderful spot. The rabbits sit almost looking down at the dragon's nest. I was like, thank you just for acknowledging my
And you
my
feel
regal
as if
stature.
the shadow mirror of yourself is just staring directly at you.
Please excuse my friend. She is from a very different culture than we are.
No.
And she will note to Eve. Eve will probably offer you another cookie, because that's what Eve understands as being polite. At which point I will put my talons out and say, may I carry you to my group as the cute little creature that you are?
I will allow you to be my owner. Yes,
You'll
this
hop
is
into
fine.
my hands,
Yep.
and I'm going to excitedly rush back to the group with this little bunny unicorn in my hands. Are like, look what I found!
And I'll give everyone else a perception roll.
Cool. Dinner.
Yeah, that's going to be funny.
25.
Anton knows what's
19.
going on. Trushka told him.
16.
I got 17.
Okay, looks like Anton notices that this strange little bunny with a horn has two shadows.
Okay, that's different. I haven't seen too many with two shadows.
You notice one of the shadows is moving slightly differently to the actual creature.
Okay, so there's two of them. Well done.
Calcrix is pretending ignorance at the moment. She's barely holding in her chuckle and her laughter because
Okay,
she's
you
really enjoying it.
The bunny's gonna hop down and just like scuttle over to Antoine's feet and just nuzzle up against his leg
And you
for a
notice
second.
left one of the shadows behind in
I
Calcrix's
tried
hand.
patting it because I assume it's just a bunny.
The moment Antoine's hand touches its head,
I thought you were going to bite it.
his hand, he will suddenly find himself on top of a lion's head who's looking up to him, baring his teeth.
There's a lion here then?
There is a very large lion beneath you.
To which In response, Calcrix roars of laughter and rolls on a slide.
The lion will suddenly say boo in a very loud voice.
And Calcrix is laughing so hard she can't catch her breath.
Well, you find interesting friends when we're on the road, Calcrix.
I presume my Axebeak is jumping off of joy as well.
Yeah,
It is.
we've been talking for a while.
I kind of look between this tiger bunny
Well, no,
thing,
the other
Calcrix and my Axebeak, and go, what the hell, guys?
And the Axebeak seems to be very friendly to the giant cat.
Yep.
Well, the other suspicious thing would have been that Axebeak would chase after the bunny straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't have really big legs, so it has this thing for chopping off the left leg, remember?
The lion will disappear as it shifts its form back to this small little dragon.
And I will say, this is actually a new friend.
Yes.
Her name is
Too long.
her pronounceable name is Feyre. And I just want you to know that in dragonkind, in our culture, usually it is custom to offer a small gift of some kind to show respect to dragons. You probably may not have something small or to offer, but if you do, I would appreciate it if you could observe that custom.
I pluck a small feather out of Chocobo and give it to the dragon.
Yep, that's
As you do that, Chocobo pulls a chunk of your hair and hands it to the dragon.
I was about to say, what bit of the...
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll grow it back. Prestidigitation, right? That works.
And I understand that you can't speak Draconic, but if
That's okay. I speak.
and Calcrix is just being very serious at this point because it's kind of, she's like, it is customary, at least for the first time, to give a little bow and to introduce yourself.
Well, after I pluck the feather and have my hair half ripped out by the Axebeak, I'll say, well, given the Axebeak hasn't tried to murder you, I presume that you're okay. My name is Zal. That is Chocobo. I point to my horse Artemis and point to my...
Artemis comes over and yanks the other side of your hair.
Yeah.
You're gonna be bald by the end of this
And
introduction.
Atlas, my griffin, who's...
Atlas just looks at your hair and just shakes his head and has that sort of...
It seems Atlas is probably the smartest of the three.
Probably.
Yeah.
No. Artemis is pretty smart. He's just been vindictive.
Yeah.
And he hates the Axebeak. So he always tries to one up the Axebeak.
He probably understands that ripping your hair out is not going to be something you'll appreciate.
No. Whereas the Axebeak is just repeating what I do. Just because it can.
The fairy will. Fairy can speak all your languages, so that's not really.
Yes, but it's part of like, so Calcrix, these guys, it's only because these guys saved her and have raised her that as a dragon, she's forgiven the fact that they've never observed any dragon etiquette with her whatsoever.
Treats him like
But
ignorant parents.
normally a dragon would take great offense to it. And so she's a little bit worried that because you are dragonkind, that you might take offense to her group for not offering you these terms of respect. So she's just taken this opportunity to kind of give them the basic level of respect that it is the first time you meet a dragon you should show, sort of thing. So from her perspective, even though you might not care, she doesn't get a lot of interaction with her own kind, but she does know enough about that etiquette to go, well, I don't want this dragon to harm my friends. I don't want to have to fight this new friend because I like her a lot, but I've been with 3 of these guys for an awfully long time, and I really am attached to them as much as a dragon can be attached to non-dragons.
Almost 10 years in.
And so I will pick them, unfortunately, over my new friend. It would be hard to do. So I'm just trying to ensure that, you know, they give you that kind of little bit of respect.
Given that.
But I don't want to offend them either, as well, because I love them and respect them as well.
It's about 10 years in game time since we rescued Calvert.
Yeah.
Actually, it makes it this would be the 11th year since you
11th
rescued
year.
her.
Wow.
Because you rescued her in year 1000, and it's 1011.
Okay, there you go. Oh, close.
Yeah.
Which is why you're level 12 at the moment, and you rescued her at level 1.
It doesn't help that Martin gave me this book for my birthday, and that helped me have a look through this, and then had a discussion with Martin, and I'm like, so how would a normal dragon treat the group? And he's like, oh, they would have killed them by now. And I'm like, does that mean there's potential in a role-playing sense for another dragon to do that? And he's like, oh, yes. Or to be completely miffed and decide to take it out of them at a very inconvenient time later.
Have you already come across another dragon though?
But you have at times, and there is payback coming.
Okay, right.
Dragon does not always pay back straight away, and
Yeah.
they pay back your descendants
And
for your crimes.
Calcrix understands that. And she's also, during that time, there's times where she, like when she first started hanging out with you guys, she'd spent no time with dragons. But in between that time and now, she's been to the Worm's Teeth Mountains.
Yep.
And she's studied at temples, and so she's learned
And got
more
instructions directly from some of the gods.
Yeah. So yeah, she's
Isn't
learned.
your like daddy the god now or something?
No, my brother.
Oh,
One of my
your
brother is the great dragon,
Yeah.
and my father, my mother and father, I believe, are Io.
Dead gods.
Yeah.
Tiamat and Bahamut.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, and I've got my father's shield. So I don't know that yet. Or do I
You do?
actually? I think I do from Car's things. So it's also become more important to me because I now know.
You've probably been subtly teaching us slowly over the last few years
It's
of coming back to
so
the party.
I'm the
Yeah.
only one that their parents are still alive.
Probably.
Well, a god is only dead when the followers no longer are there to believe in it.
And Caraprix has been praying to her father since she got his shield.
And the chromatic dragons are looking to bring Tiamat back into the world.
Or is it Takesis?
Tiamat and Takesis, they're both the names of the
Interchangeable,
same.
yeah. I always
same
use
name.
the wrong name, just so you guys know. Anyway, so I nod gratefully at Zal for observing this and losing her hair as a result.
As I said, the prestidigitation, that fixes everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're just
Probably
It
not the
looks
pain.
smoother.
Probably not the pain, but yeah.
Did you eat it?
Yeah, the way you
Okay,
do
I'll get out some shark jerky.
Shark jerky.
Made from mill shark.
You remember where we had a whole heap that were decimated? I can't remember how we killed so many of the damn things. We basically made all the jerky to
I'm
save them all.
surprised in a note of irony you didn't give her something from, I don't know, a manticore.
No, because I was wearing all of that crap.
Well, the shark jerky might be soaked in magical blood.
Maybe, yeah.
No, the bag wasn't open at the time.
Okay, so
I was going to say, did any of the other players want to offer something small?
how does Anton deal with this trickster dragon?
I knew Proshka was hiding something. I don't know what it is.
And you keep getting prodded by Proshka.
Okay.
He just keeps prodding you while you're waiting after you're seeing
Okay,
everyone
right.
else give stuff.
Well, I can teach you some card tricks.
Excellent. Gladly accept that.
It's a bit hard if you don't have any cards.
I've got a set of playing cards.
They're just rigged.
No, mine are honest to goodness
Are
playing
you
cards.
sure?
Yes, they are.
Well, what's the cards that Proshka's got then?
Oh, Proshka hasn't got any playing cards.
Yeah, she's got bills.
Yeah.
Proshka's this good.
Yeah.
Yep. He has a tiny set of cards. He was
No,
playing
no,
on
no,
the
no, it's grabbed
He's got
because
his tiny set
know,
of cards.
you
But when
see
he
the-
played,
You see this little fluff ball of carrying around cards, or cards
Yeah.
with a little bit of fluffy legs in there.
Yeah. Because when we were in that cabin in the infamous encounter, he was playing cards and had like
Cheating.
5 aces or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Fairy will accept all the gifts gladly, and in return she pulls out this black mat and reaches into it.
A portable hole, you have to sort of
Yeah,
left
just
it all
laying it out. Just me. dives in, grabs, comes back out. I share with you each the rewards from my last great prank. Unfortunately, I didn't get to bury these yet. Hence, each of you a small candy, a lolly, and a pair of underwear.
Who accepts?
Sure.
Well, I think it's insulting to refuse, so I accept.
Calcrix, knowing Fey dragons, will say, I will accept this on the obligation of sharing a trick with you. And she'll do that, rush to do that before anyone else accepts the gifts. And she'll pointedly look at everybody as she does that statement.
At which point I'll go back to the others and say, do you accept the gift?
Sure, I'll accept it. Why not?
Do you offer any obligation to the gift? Calcrix kind of,
At this point you realise, give me an insight roll.
Yeah, so I think I need an insight roll on this one too.
Cheval probably intrigues you with something very small, very light and fluffy. That is the bane of Cheval's existence. A marshmallow that people keep on trying to cook over her head. That she keeps on stealing from people because they keep on trying to roast marshmallows on their head. So how about this, what you will?
and Calcrix has like a bag of holding full of marshmallows.
Exactly.
So how did our
Non-natural 20.
non-natural 20? You realise after you've said it twice and been hinted at that you forgot to add how you're accepting this obligation. And given the Fey Dragon a free obligation of the Fey Dragon's choice that you must now do without any choice in the matter, as it is a Fey creature. That is why people rarely deal with the Fey Wild.
Is it too late to put an obligation on it?
It is, because you were you said I accept without actually adding your stipulation on it.
Is there a moment for Calcrix to realise what's happened and just educate the rest of the group a little more bluntly?
Well, there's also you've got Zal going.
So Calcrix will give the opportunity that it is also polite with the Fae to perhaps offer them something in return for their gift, unless you want to leave the obligation open to the Fae's
Interpretation.
whim, which can be very funny.
Can't be.
Someone's been wearing underwear.
Oh yeah, someone's probably going to wear all the underwear on their head.
Would you, if it's not too late,
No.
appreciate a homemade leather gift?
Well, this is a separate thing. So,
This is
from
a
your
tough-
perspective, this is a completely separate thing to the obligation you now owe. So,
Yeah.
you can decide whether or not you owe an obligation in return, or give a gift in return for the gift you've just been given.
I'm going to have a
Fae
talk with
are
Zal.
all interesting things to deal with, as you found out.
There's going to have to be a long talk with you. Calcrix is now realising that perhaps maybe she should have talked to you all before. This is Calcrix.
At which point, you might just tweak that Eve is actually a Fey creature as well, and everyone's been accepting cookies from him.
Sorry.
Okay.
But it wasn't her cookies to give in the first place.
Well, they are technically my cookies.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, but you accepted it from Eve. Doesn't matter who Eve
It's
gets it
stolen
from,
property!
which,
Eeps the fence!
but from a Fey Dark perspective, it doesn't matter where they get it from. You've all accepted things from a Fey
Maybe
Dark
I really
creature.
should stop letting Eve give out the cookies and just give out the cookies myself.
There is a reason why Eve has been happy to give out the cookies.
Calcrix is thinking that she might have to change this.
Huge cosmic power!
Itty bitty house.
I don't know. I'll have to talk with you after game about whether or not them fighting off the Master, which is something that the Queen of Darkness is happy to aid us in, is fulfilling part of that obligation that the people who've accepted cookies from her have been fulfilling.
I have a plan.
Yeah, yeah, well, and you're free not to tell me what the plan is. Anyway, you offered a marshmallow. Do you accept the undies and the candies? Or underwear and candy?
Or candy underwear.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Surprised you didn't merge
I
them
will.
Well, the thing was that the trick is usually to go bury them in their yards. They have to go dig them up afterwards, and then it's destroying their yard as well. It's all great fun, but I didn't get to do that.
Decline out of confusion more than anything else. I'm just like, thanks, but no thanks.
Well, I'd be careful. I think if I was going to phrase it, it'd be no thank you with great respect.
But this is the
because
paladin
the thanks
talking about.
is the
No,
acceptance.
It's like a noble like decline of, but I'm very confused.
Check
on-
with him as to whether or not the thanks counts as the
Give me an insight
acceptance.
Okay.
Yeah, I might need to make a wisdom save too.
Yeah, I've been reading up on Fae stuff. So I'm trying to remember all the
There
bits
was
that
a
I
region that did suggest the Fey Dragon.
Yeah, because I just had the 3, and one of them is.
19. You realise by saying thanks, you technically entered into a contract without a stipulation. And the no thanks was also an insult after accepting the contract.
You might need to
from
proffer
the-
up another marshmallow.
It's the.
Mate. I have probably about 50 of these things, if not more.
Just
and
if
you
you do
realise
no
this is one of these
obligation.
mistakes you've had with pixies in the past.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you've just called yourself trick target.
Yeah. What's the
Like,
save I
that
have to make?
literally is a paladin in this party at the moment. When you said I'm a target for trickery, there have been multiple attempts in the past, aka roasting marshmallows over my head, where
It's not a trick.
Well, you also had the
It's not a trick, it's just helpful.
you also had the one where somebody changed their sexes because of you.
Yep, because they were ill-wised and in the really wrong place to do it.
Is that how it originally happened?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were actually in a temple of females,
Oh,
and they wanted
yes.
to
Yes.
provoke a trickery on me and cause
Yes,
darkness
that's
on me.
right. Yes.
And so they snuck into the temple of Freya to play a trick, came across the high priestess of the temple, and went, well, you're not supposed to be here, and then cursed him.
Into a female.
Yes.
And then, unfortunately, player left after that.
They did not like
The
the
curse.
character consequence.
I would have absolutely run for it, but as it was, yeah, it was the wrong
The
place
save
to
was
do it.
17, by the way.
Okay. So I believe you succeeded.
I will temper my response to his insults, but note it for later.
Great. So the dragon now scornfully looks at the paladin, as seems that everybody does.
Don't look at me too long.
And at which point you get
Yeah,
and
no,
flash flood in your brain.
Yeah, you forgot that took effect again.
This is going to be a love-hate relationship.
It's not always there, but it just kicks in every now and then when you just don't
can't
notice.
help but suppress. She can't quite suppress the little chuckle she has when she realizes
The thing is,
the paladin flashes
people will
at
be able
her.
to cast tricks as often as they want on show out, but I get the last laugh when they get paladin screamed in their face.
That's one thing.
I
Does it
kind
actually,
of wish that that's
does
the
darkness
paladin's
will actually
version of
counteract that?
Only if you can't see him. Her.
That sucks.
This is why we don't look at paladins. This is a
No,
general rule.
Calcrix does look at the paladin quite often because now she's so used to having it screamed in her face, it doesn't hurt her so much. So she's it's kind of like developing the immunity to
Okay,
fire
just
and
overexposed it.
Maybe it's just dragon fortitude, but it still hurts after like 6 or 7 years of having paladin scream in my face. Or maybe because it's just me.
It's just
And does
Barrior Grange goes through my gnomish contracts. They're trying to work out something. Because this is the same thing as entering in a gnomish contract.
Oh, the gnomish contract is something you can actually legally work through. A Fey contract is completely on the Fey side of the bargain.
I suggest to Yodri that you can accept by just giving the obligation of teaching her something or giving her something in return. Like another piece of sharpshooting. Or a different kind of jerky that you can find. Probably not magical.
Because there are many tales have been wary on accepting any form of gift from a Fey.
I think that's everybody, and that's
Okay,
the full introduction to the Fae.
Actually, can I get somebody else to accept it on my behalf? Would that work?
If they're accepting on your behalf and they then take no obligation, technically it's your obligation. Because you said on your behalf.
Yeah.
So you're accepting whatever
Yeah.
obligation is
Nah.
applied to them.
That's kind of part of why the introductions come about the way it is, because it also teaches you guys that whatever you accept from Feyre, you've got to be a bit cautious about how you accept that. And it also prepares you for the fact that there will be tricks.
And whatever you give Feyre, you've also got to be prepared that Feyre is likely to do something in return, even if it's just a compliment, because obligation goes both ways.
Yeah. That's absolutely true.
Which is the danger of dealing with Fae. Just like the fairy dragon may give you a trick every time you compliment it.
Okay. If I dance a jig, would that be classed as magic?
Yes,
If you
entertainment.
If I do a dance of the jig while
as long as you say in return I give you this and that, then
that's what I'll do. In return, I'll dance a
Give me a
little
performance
jig
roll.
for you.
performance roll.
Okay, guess what? Halfling luck comes in. Okay, natural 20. Cool.
So you are deeply impressed,
That's
I
a
presume.
wonderful
You
dance.
feel like his gift in return was so over the top you now owe him an obligation.
You better find another
Apparently he topped you on the gift giving, so now you must do a free obligation of his choice because he beat you in the gift.
Mind you, I'll
But
probably
you
end up
don't tell
forgetting
him
about
that.
it anyway.
Oh, I have no intention of passing that information on.
But if he so much as ask someone to pass the salt, you can pick up the salt and say, and there's my gift, and my obligation to you is now done.
And then I'll go, what?
You do not realise the gift that you have got.
And in return to M's offer for something made of leather, I offer to teach her how to pronounce my first name.
Challenge accepted. For the linguist in the group, that's actually quite a boon.
You're offering to
I
craft something for me. I
I-
feel I should teach you in return.
I'll inform Feyre that Zal's actually acted as my herald. She's very good with languages.
Hopefully someone will be able to pronounce it in the end.
Libby, can you write
Well,
it down?
it won't be
the...
and to put it bluntly, it won't be the GM, that's for sure.
No. Oh, well, if it is the GM, it'll be completely mispronounced.
That's what I said. We'll not pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay, so we move on to a different flashback at a different time. So you did come across Feyre along the border of the Elven Lands, knowing that the Feywild has pretty much left the forest, with talks of it getting darker and more foreboding.
Because with the Feywild gone, there's nothing stopping the Fey Dark from coming forward. Does that change Eve in any way?
It does get more powerful.
Yeah, as I was saying before, huge cosmic power.
And Eve now has one of his people's favourite food source in the party.
The Fey Dragon.
Yep.
Fey, yep. Calcrix will look up to Eve and say, no.
Bad.
No
bad.
eating. No eating friends.
So I will look at Axby and say, no biting your neck.
Well, apparently they're already friends, so you know.
Well,
I
one
think,
trick said to another.
I think cheval means her leg.
Well, they do say
It could always just be
it's
an
always
entity.
funny until someone loses a leg.
Yeah,
Could be an entity.
And then it's hilarious. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so in the second flashback, we are having Zal meeting her romance interest
Yay!
Way.
off on Zal's little plot of land that's been given to her as part of her war efforts by the Republic of Darek. And you see that he has been putting together a building on your land as you just happen to rock up after not being there for quite some time.
Interesting. Are you building a commerce section here?
No, I've just gotten some funding to put together an orphanage.
Oh, lovely.
I've been busy with the diplomatic corps and talking to the other nations and finding out that with the losses we've had in the war and those who helped us, that there are a lot of kids without parents. So this plot of land is far enough from the battlefront that if Darken were to fall, we could easily evacuate from here. So I'm looking to bring all the orphans here.
That makes sense. Do you need more funding for these buildings? Or?
Well, the government's been happy to put towards money towards it because, well, some of those who have died were owed money, and that's all been poured into it at this stage.
Well, if you're ever in any need of any funds, my coin is yours, basically.
That would be much appreciated. So far, we've got about 20 kids coming this way. I believe there's a couple of elven kids in there, so well, that will be a lifetime's of work. Because, well,
They are very long-lived.
they're very long-lived, and rumors say that their entire communities have died. So that means that there's no one left to raise them.
That's very true and very sad.
But war is a horrible thing, so he's trying to get the best he can out of it.
And have you been looking after yourself in this time?
It's been hard. Trying to get stuff done is not easy. Study has been rather grueling because not many countries have the freedom to come to our aid. Right now, the big push is everyone looking after themselves. Glantry is too distant across the border from the Broken Lands to actually come here in force. And they've put most of their armies on the valley that leads into them from the Master's forces.
I was about to say they have their own problems on two fronts to deal with.
They do have the War of the Vampire Lords in their north. And to be honest, no one really wants to know what's happening there right now. The Thyatans have talked about how they are trying to bring all their allies into the war on the Isle of Dawn. They don't want to send anyone this way to help. We may be the breadbasket of the world, but there's nothing growing.
We can thank the primal gods for that little bit of intervention there.
Yes, there's heard that they're trying to put together a group to go interact with them. And
Interact with me though. Wrong word there, I think, but
well,
plead.
it's assuming that someone can actually get them to pay attention. No one knows how smart they are because there's no recorded conversation with them.
I think that they need to be careful about underestimating.
Most of them perceive them as the equivalent of the Turesk. All-consuming, endless hunger, and creating new life in its wake.
We need to be careful about some assumptions there, but
Some of the rumors are that's how most species pop up is in the wake of the primals going on a rampage. As we've had no new major species since they've gone to sleep. It might be an interesting world we're in right now.
possibly.
New dominant species may be springing up as we speak.
If we live to see that day, it will be very interesting indeed.
So, what have your friends and you been up to?
We have been investigating and preparing for the upcoming skirmishes. And in our travels, and I kind of rummage around in my building and get out the stuff that I got from that festival.
He is quite pleased.
It is small, but it made me think.
He thanks you, and he pulls out a book he had to the side and gives it to you. He says, I found this while I was abroad. It is a book on spirits. A discussion on life after death and communicating with those that have gone.
Necromancy 201.
I very much appreciate the gift back.
Yes, I have been looking for things as I go. There's not always a lot of stuff around. What about your friends? How have they fared in this year?
They have been. I think they have been faring well. We've said goodbye to some, said hello to others, new, and made some quite interesting friends along the way. And I'll tell them about our almost misadventure with the giants and a few of the other sort of camp trails we've been on.
He is quite interested in that, and he says that are any of them here?
No, I came back home by myself, and very pleased to have see you here.
It's all good. He's also looking at whether or not he might join the expedition going west to find the source of the master, but once the opportunity came up to start the orphanage, he thought it'd be best to concentrate on that than potentially take the kids on a long ocean voyage. This is expects more orphans to come into this war before the end.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think what you're planning to do here is very noble and along the right tracks.
Though it is sad that from what he hears, the elven forest is dying and the elves are leaving. He does not know if there will be much magic left in the world after this war.
Yes, it's to be seen, but as you said, who knows what the primal gods will leave in their wake, and who knows, maybe new types of magic will be left in their wake.
It would be interesting, he says. So you end up having probably a bit of time with him catching up and doing and finding out what's actually happening here. They do have a few interesting guardsmen around, and they will give you an insight roll on that.
Do you want food of any sorts? Nuts or a meal?
A meal would probably be better at this stage.
Can I use a reroll?
Okay.
That's better. What was it? Perception?
Yep. Got insight, that's it.
Oh, insight, sorry. 25.
Okay. You realise that there are a couple of Raksasha that are guarding the estate.
Do I recognize any of them?
Well, you recognise that they're Raksasha by the fact that their hands are backwards.
Ah, okay.
It's a trait of the devils.
sort of in between talking with that, I'll go up and ask after the Rakasha?
Rack session.
Or Rakasha that we travelled with many moons ago.
Well, it's not the ones you travelled with. It's the ones you travelled with were the Rakasta.
Oh, the
which are the camp
Rakasta.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Yeah.
and they were not devils, whereas the Rakshasas are actual devils, but some of them look like cats.
Oh, right, sorry, that's right.
There are similar names, which is why I brought it up.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay, well that makes sense. Okay,
Hi, we travel with you. What are you going on about?
backtracking then, I will go up, greet them,
They all know you by now.
given that it's my lands, I would hope so. I welcome them and just ask them about their people. I don't think I've ever met their people before.
Well, they sort of look at you confused because, well, most people can't identify them by sight.
Jedi?
They look human
Oh.
because they are basically shape changing. The one thing they can't change is the direction of their hands.
Can I point to their hands and just sort of raise an eyebrow?
Most of them pull their hands back into their sleeves.
They just do that.
So I have no issue with your differences. I will accept all my lands. You seem to be guarding this place, and I appreciate your efforts.
We have an agreement, they say.
Very good.
Okay, so back to you guys on the lake. You get news that the fleets who have gone to the north and southern fortress are doing a mass exodus of all the troops. The northern fort itself has pretty much slid into the lake.
Wow.
They blew up the mountainside beside it and caused an avalanche. About a tenth of the soldiers at that fortification got out.
That's not much.
Fortification. Or is
The
this
north
one?
side of the lake.
So upwards one.
Whereas the southern side realized that there was no holding them back and had been doing a withdrawal long before the castle fell. So they've been evacuating the wounded via the lake. And without the lake forces, most of the southern army would have been lost.
Yep.
We can't cast and levitate on the bloody bombs.
Well, you can, but problem is you have to basically do it one at a time and concentrate. And keep it within range.
How heavy are they?
You don't know. You've never picked one up. So they have more mass than you do. Because there is a weight and a container, and the weight is what keeps them underwater. And you also get news from Calcrix and her battle sense is that Ethengar Island has submerged.
Oh.
It is.
So the Tarrasca's gone down.
It is no longer on the surface.
That's not good.
And that is where the majority of the Master's forces is going.
So they've basically sunk the island?
Or convince the island to move out of the way.
Yeah, that would do it.
Because the island never actually touched the bottom.
Oh, no.
It was the floating titan.
Oh, okay, right. So the island's just like, yeah, no.
It had
Well,
been
last
beaten up by
time
the
it
Master
did.
previously.
That's true.
As you so precisely put it, you got KO'd.
Yeah, it's got an ass handed to it.
And-
got literally kicked over the lake and back to its home.
And reports are coming in from the northern halfling fleet that they have no protection against the Master's weaponry. Well, one hit and they lose everyone on board the ship.
So what does that mean for us? Probably the same.
Means the same. Unless those of you who can't fly go off the ship.
Does the fog stop at any point, or is it just everywhere?
It's going all across the lake, slowly
It's the
encroaching.
height.
The height of it,
The height looks like, as it's getting closer, that the front ones are about 20 to 40 feet up, because size was a bit out when you were estimating from a distance. The floating constructs are huge, and it is almost a city-sized construct behind it.
I only could do stuff at night.
Well,
and that's the big city. One behind it's the one that's spewing coal.
And it's basically polluting the lake along the way, which you think is what sent the tourists to the bottom of the lake.
So does it even seem like I don't want to run straight away, but does it?
It's not looking good anyway.
No.
we're-
I guess what we want to do is try and slow their.
I was thinking there's only two options. One is run. The other is, I don't know what this big thing is, but there might be vulnerability in it. And I think getting into the heart of the Death Star type situation, disabling or something.
Yeah.
Did someone mention they're powered by crystals?
That's
Destroy
where the Shadow Elves are powered by crystals, the gnomish ones.
Do I know what they're powered by?
They're powered by the souls of those they killed.
It may be like a command part of it or something.
Is there any?
They would be tied to the soul forge that created them.
So we'd
I'm
only
not
be
sure
able
that doesn't
to.
mean very much to me.
The artifact that made them is the one that controls them.
And would that be in there?
No idea.
we-
Unlikely it would be this side of the Master's Barrier.
Oh, it would be inside there. Oh, the Master's Barrier is behind it. Oh, okay.
This is moving in front of the barrier.
I wonder if it's worth just trying to cast a spell on it, or I probably.
I was just
not
about to say, is there a way to
anybody.
purify it? And then I was like, oh, dispel magic.
Yeah.
Duh. But
And that requires it to be magic. So you might dispel part of it, but if it's an item, you will put it back in again. Because dispel magic on an item shuts it down for a moment.
But if you can dispel it and then have people lined up to shoot through it during even
Coordinate it,
yeah, coordinate it so that people can shoot right during those moments of dispel and then cast a spell again, sort of thing.
I can manage 3 dispel magics for her at once.
And I've got dispel as well.
And you can cast quite a few, but you can ramp them up. So the big thing about dispel magic is you really want to get high enough to drop it without rolling.
Yeah, I know. It's
so I think at least 3 of the parties, I think I have dispel magic as well. So at least 3 of us have
I also
4
have
have
it.
dispel magic. So
I'll
We
just
could
get
do
one of the
that
kegs
while
that's
people
currently
like-
underwater. There's my dispel magic.
I can
This-
cast it several times. Actually, hang on, can I cast it?
People like
got to be cast at a 5th
Cheval
level.
will
that's
have
fine, that's not the
radiant
issue.
damage and fire damage, so they could, try and shoot between the dispels, and they are possibly powerful enough to at least take out some of.
I guess the
things.
one downside to Zol being split, like while they have some special casting abilities.
You need
I
rust
can't
monsters.
cast it unless I shift back to dragon.
I only have, I think, can learn up to, I think, 3rd or 4th level spells now. I can cast up to, 6?
Well, if
Yeah.
we choose
You
just
have
one
6
or
level
2 of
slots.
us,
I have 6 level slots, but I don't have any 6th level spells because of where my actual levels of
Yeah.
cleric and wizard lie.
You only need to get the 5th
But-
level spells to cast. 5th level slots to cast dispel magic and bring down the force.
yeah. Well, what I was going to say is not all of us need to cast dispel because we're probably not all gonna. We're not gonna.
Well,
We'll be doing a controlled retreat basically, and trying to do some damage during the
And
controlled
the
retreat.
news from the halflings are a bunch of them have gone up the river near Brunsdale, which is the tiny little bit of river up the side there. Not the one next to the fort, but the next one over, because they have found their ships too vulnerable on the water.
Yeah, right.
So when you say.
which is
Point it out to you. Oh, so this one here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking completely.
And the
wrong
rest of them have
direction.
headed down that
way.
river because they need to get off the lake.
Yeah. So we don't have as much support.
They're taking as
does-
many refugees with them as possible.
Does my battle mind work enough to give me a good sense of, or insight or perception from the previous Tuesday battle to give me an idea of, should we just retreat?
Retreat is the safest option because they may start attacking you before you get within range of them.
Yeah.
We are severely outgunned as well.
Yeah, and I understand
Can
that.
we even outrun them on
You can. You are
Yeah.
a lot faster than they
Expeditious
are.
Okay, alright.
retreat, yeah.
Using gnomish tech, it doesn't move fast, but it is
It's
not
constant.
magic,
Problem is, it's constant.
and it's not magic. So you can't use magic to take out their flight.
them? Yeah.
No, you need rust monsters to take them out. They'll eat the metal. You need to get
The problem is, are these things bound to the lake, or are they just going to keep going over the land as they go?
they'll keep on going other land, but they don't need the lake.
That's also true.
And rumors are that they're part of what took down the Northern Southern forces.
Hmm.
Though there is talk of a Dracolich, a Draco Lich in the Southern forces. At 80 feet tall Draco.
Aiding the master or going against the master?
On the Master's side.
Sipping
Don't
all right
forget
was
Hank
on
against
the
Master.
Galantry side.
There was this talk of why dragons never use that.
So, would we be better going back up the north or heading south to try and take out this Draco
That's a bad idea.
Lich?
The Draco Lich took the castle on the southern side.
Oh, right.
Mine just said it was 80 feet.
That's what's fair.
Its head poked through the cloud at 80 feet above the battlefield. They never actually fought it, they ran.
It sounds like retreat is probably the best option.
Yeah, it took a while for the Master to get his true forces here.
How long will it take for them to get to you?
I mean, we've already been talking for what?
Well, you think that they will take probably most of a month to reach a Koros on the other side of the lake. So after about 15 days, they have passed where Ethengar Island was. So they will cross the entire lake in a month.
So, gather all the information we can now and rendezvous with the rest of the Novish forces. Would be my best bet.
Okay. So now I'm going to do another flashback as you're considering retreat. That's a safe option. And we'll go to Anton's. What does Anton? What big event happened to Anton between this? Between the end of last season and the start of this season.
I can't think of anything in the way of a big event.
Would you let the GM to come up with one?
Well, I was going to say an interlude, but you can then add a big event because it probably outclips my interlude. I was just going to be saying like an interlude, thinking about. I went to a lot of trouble to avoid getting caught in war. I'm finding myself now in a war, which I don't think I'm going to be very much used to fighting. Miles long clouds with huge floating constructs, really out of my league.
You put the helmet on, and it all becomes a blur.
And I don't put the helmet on, but I'm just thinking I see myself sitting at the sitting one night staring into the campfire, reflecting on what's happened, what's changed, and how fate has meant that I'm finding myself in a war, but war fighting on the right side for once, not for another side, not for a tyrant. That might not be as good as what you had in mind.
So while you're all sitting in this inn, resting for the night, there is a old Troldaran storyteller telling the tale of the Black Knight. While Anton's busy staring into the flame, completely oblivious to what's going on.
I don't need to know about the Black Knight.
As they talk about how a creature of darkness is what they refer to the Black Knight is, rose up and threw down oppressive civilizations as they saw it. And it is something that is hated by many cultures because what most people think of commonplace may actually be quite oppressive. Reason why goblins and goblinoids flock behind the Black Knight is their cultures were never thrown down because they were normally oppressed.
I have some sympathy for the goblins on this one.
And basically, it has almost been portrayed as one of those unstoppable juggernauts, normally associated with a half fiend of some kind. So basically, that they give it the attributes of a type.
Basically, if Black Knight fronted up on our side, it would be a boo.
If the Black Knight fronted up on your side, most of the people on your side would turn on. It's that feared by people.
So basically, it would need to become the fourth side.
What you would need to do is disguise the Black Knight if it was possible, so that people didn't realise it was the Black Knight, but some sort of champion.
So the moral of the story from the Troldaran thing was treat everyone fairly, or the Black Knight may come and wipe you up.
Well, I don't see how that's necessarily a bad image. I would see, from that moral of the story, that is kind of like the Black Knight represents karma in a way.
It is in that storyline. It is about the Black Knight being karma, but it's about having a balance to the world around you, and how the Thayatan belief breaks that balance because it's trying to tame nature as well as the people.
It's different to how I was understood the Black Knight. But it's a different perspective.
But this is also not the Karamikos people that you grew up with. This is on the Darken side of the border.
Okay.
So the story does change depending on who's saying it. And they describe how the Black Knight has a sword that seems unbreakable.
It seems like Cheval has found a worthy partner for the battle.
You keep forgetting how to score anyway. I'm not afraid of fight.
Well, you haven't donned the helmet yet, and if your sword is unbreakable, the paladin also believes in fairness.
He doesn't have the sword yet.
Yeah.
He's just got the helm.
Ah, I see.
And I don't normally wear the helm.
You just probably also then need to
I
listen
wonder
to the armor,
if you can wield
and
the sword.
Then his steed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if you can wield the sword though without bearing the helm. And does the sword carry the same curse with it?
My understanding is that they work together.
Yeah, so then, there'd be a problem. That's a shame, because
Sounds like
that
they're
sword would be
intelligent.
awfully useful in this battle.
I kind of think that floating
Where's-
city's a bit big for a sword.
And they do say that the Thayatans were the last ones to face the Black Knight and apparently scattered his raiments all over the world.
Bloody fire, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. So this is happening before the battle, I presume.
This is another
all of these
flashback.
flashbacks are before
All these flashbacks happen
Thus the
before
name
winter.
Flashback. Still trying to think through that in my brain.
It's all good.
Top of my head's caught up again.
Okay, so the next one in the flashback is Yodri. So it's still sometime in autumn, heading into winter.
Okay. See how the my legal merchants are going. Also getting all ready for the giants as well.
Are they down at the docks of Koros? Well, not at Koros, and there is another one if I can get the mouse to the right spot. There we are. Athenos was where I believe where you had some docks.
Yeah. So I was actually going to get some of them up here to help the other halflings since they.
Do they hear about the massive party going on there?
Well, so while you're down at your docks, there is a big festival going on, sending off 50 merchantmen from Darakan, Minratha, and Irendi, working together to head off to the west and try to discover the source of the Master's power. Do any of you send followers with them?
Yeah.
I have any followers.
Are we all at that location?
You probably will be at that
was
location
already
at some point.
arranged for followers to be sent on Tuesday. That's how I knew there was a massive party.
I'd probably send one or two of my. I've got like 6 Griffin Knights.
Because this is a big expedition. There's also a bunch of halfling aggressive negotiators going along.
Yeah, that's all I was planning on sending.
If you see Calcrix there, you'll see her tell you guys that she doesn't want to be rude, but she just needs to do some errands that need to be need the utmost discretion. And if you see her, she'll be with 2 heavily robed figures. I don't know if Martin wants you to roll insight on those figures, but that would be the some of the Dragonborn followers that I said I'd have. I've selected 2 of them to go on their expedition. So I don't know if these guys will.
Well, you
realise that?
see Calcrix is busy having a conversation off to the side. Yodri has been dragged into the inner circle, where his parents are both part of the leadership of the expedition.
So he gets to beat the 2 Dragonborn?
So, well, your Dragonborn aren't there at the time.
Oh, okay, so this is a different circle. Okay.
And basically, you understand from your parents' perspective that if they want it done right, they're doing it themselves.
That sounds about right. Mother always was the take charge. Same sister. Yeah, I'm the black sheep. I'm the one who decided to go for adventure and steal other people's ships.
I'm very happy the Griffin Knights
And they're sort of looking your direction and going, so, are you coming or staying?
I'm slowing them down.
so that you can do your thing.
So staying it is, they say.
Yeah, somehow I got sort of shanghaied into this mob that decided to do warfare on the lakes instead of the sea.
So you're actually piloting a boat for a change. You're joining the family business again. We're so proud.
Well, we have a legitimate merchants fleet.
We're always legitimate pirates.
Merchants?
Call a spade. We're all pirates here. A couple of people are looking pale as your parents are saying that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying merchants.
I'll be flying my red Jolly Roger as we go.
Red Jolly Roger, that's cool.
That's the no quarters taken Jolly Roger.
Yeah, but basically,
maybe
yeah.
not cool.
That's why most people fear the halflings, because that's the flag.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
my-
friends
my-
with the halfling. I think it's cool.
Yeah, well, red means that they're not going to take prisoners. Black means that
You have some chance.
You have some chance if you've got plenty of booze,
Oh, I see.
money, things like that.
That's
so-
why the red flag means death.
Well, maybe not so cool.
Where's actually the wars going on?
Well,
There's
it
supposed to be
just
some
it just
war
means that
down
if anyone
south,
gets in their
isn't there?
way.
There's lots of wars going.
Yeah, but this one was an underwater thing.
Oh, that they're not responsible for what's happening under the water.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's actually going to hit to the surface, that's all.
If it does, I'm sure you've got that hand. You're good at sinking things again.
No, mine's crashing, not sinking.
Same diff.
No, you can walk away from a crash, you can't walk away from a sinking one, actually. Yeah, you
Do you have do you have the walking boots for water?
No, I don't, I just walk along the bottom.
That would work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can walk away.
You can swim away.
Yeah, I know. That's why I have no problems with the water. I could breathe it.
Okay, so your mother does have a gift for you.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. I've got something.
She hands you a platinum spyglass.
Ooh. Yeah, I've got the Jade Kraken that the Jade Leviathan that I found ages ago.
She's quite impressed by your gift, and you realise that her gift has been passed down from her parents to her, from her grandparents to her parents.
Wow.
Okay, so my
Family.
sister do something wrong?
She says, your sister is coming with us.
So just in case they don't return.
You're not expecting to come back, are
Yeah.
you?
We don't expect anyone on the expedition to make it back. It's a risk.
Okay, that's not
Cool.
good. Yeah, but
Whichever way we go, there's no guarantee we'll come
Yeah.
out of it one way or another.
Okay.
And you might get more use out of it than we will. It's very hard to hunt down wayward ships when you're in the middle of the fleet. They're basically the flagship.
Yeah.
So is that the looking glass that we're using on the lake?
I presume it's more powerful than a standard one.
Yeah, I presume.
It is a
Right.
magical looking glass. Enchanted by someone they stole it from long ago.
yeah.
Yeah. Someone's great, etc. stole it, and yeah.
And they've kept it as an heirloom ever since.
Fair enough. That works, right?
And for Yodri, it's a surprise because he wasn't expecting to be the one to get it.
Yeah, I was all the youngest out of the lot. And I was expecting it to go to my sister, who's older.
Okay. So yes. Is there anything else you'd like to do during these celebrations of basically people wishing a tearful farewell for those that they don't know if will come back, or even if they do come back, will they still be here to receive them?
I'll make sure the people I'm sending are fully informed of this. I'm sure they know them anyway.
Everyone got to sign a document that explains that they may not come back after this.
That's why I asked them if they were willing to go, because I thought they might be one of the most qualified to go.
They're all willing to put their effort into whatever it takes.
So I gather you'll send.
I'll ask at least two of the Griffin Knights if they're willing to go on this suicide mission, essentially.
They say every mission right now is a suicide mission.
Yeah, well, just as long as you're aware. I will not mince words. It's gotten to that point of no return, basically.
Except the mission is really integral, isn't it? Did you say it's crucial to
That
the...
unless they find out what the Master's weakness is, they need to send people to start, at the least, writing down his histories, because he's destroyed all writing relating to him.
Yeah.
Which means Legend Law does not work on him. You cannot divine him, you cannot ask the gods about him. He is an enigma,
So
or
is,
someone who's questing to become a god.
is a part of that mission, or writing down everything they learn about him.
Which adds to the anyone doing legend lore about him.
So one of my Dragon Lord is in the scribes, so I will send the scribes.
Well, the Griffin Rider's a good scout, so that's probably going to be useful.
Yeah, they'll be able to, yeah.
As well as being good warriors, but
As they say that there's
Agile.
not a great expectation that they will come back.
I wish them well. And,
Will you be sending followers your crew, or do you think since your family's going, that's
No,
sufficient?
I'll put some of the Marines going.
Yep.
And you see a well-known halfling cook joining the expedition.
A well-known halfling?
Yeah, he's a former Dread pirate.
Yeah.
we met him before?
You have met him before.
Yeah, I was trying to say, it sounds familiar.
And his family's going along too.
Ah. We'll go up and chat with him for a while.
Oh,
and
also tell him there's halflings to the north.
He does know about them, but they're a different branch of halflings.
Yeah. But I think it's before the fort.
They had split off before the dwarves took over.
Yeah.
But they still speak halfling. They're the only halflings who still speak halfling.
Oh, wow.
So to me, actually, after all this craziness over, we need to actually go and speak to them.
He does agree to that, but he does say that his group are looking to see if they can find and put an end to the threat while you're facing it from the other way.
Yeah. We're slowing him down, hopefully, while you
Start hunting heads.
Possibly literal things. Considering he deals with the undead.
Okay, so back to the you on the lake. It has been weeks as you've been retreating. You've managed to retreat back to the southern lake, the southern river coming off the lake, and you get word that the city of Akoros has been taken.
Not doing too well.
No one could stand up to balls of fire coming from miles away and taking down walls, emplacements, ships. Anything who tried to stand in the way basically got pulverized.
Is there anything notable happening in terms of what we are doing to slow them down, or it's just we're using all of our best attacks and doing what we can?
so you think we're sending them some fire ships?
The only way of surviving at the moment has been throwing up walls of force. It's the only thing that has deflected these missiles. Everything else has collapsed.
We should take the wall of forces.
Falcrix has it,
Yeah, I think I'm the only one who
but
has
can
it.
only do so many, which
Yeah.
is why you don't want to try to get too close.
I
No.
could have taken it, but I haven't.
But I'll be keeping, like, I'll ask people to sort of, people like Cheval who have like the really big fire spells, and people like Zal who've got the range things. I think you've got, do you have fire spells that are range?
I have Moonbeam, which is a great.
I don't know if Moonbeam will actually,
Moonbeam's radiant.
Radiant or Fire is
A
effective.
radiant of fire can't harm a wall of force.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I'll
I-
have
I-
them next to me in case people get too close.
I can physically attack with force damage,
Yeah.
but I can't. It's not
But I have to get within like 60 feet to do all the force, so I would likely pick warriors I can rely on because
Sunday.
I may not be able to protect myself when I'm doing all the force, and if they get through or get too close, I'd like someone like Cheval, Zal, or even my new friend Fayre to be there to help keep them back while I recover from spellcasting and move back. Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we can get a trebuchet of fire.
I
Those
do
things
have
are 3
instant
kilometers.
siege weapon.
Most of the
Which is a really
trebuchet will
interesting-
go for about half a mile,
Yeah.
which is where these things are exceeding anything that you've seen built today. The dwarves maybe could build something to cope with it, but they're all busy.
Yeah, they're busy with
And anything flying gets shot down, correct?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
What level is Wall of Flame D&D?
I believe it would be 4th level.
But I think you
Might
can
be.
cast it at higher levels, so you could also probably do.
I don't
more
know,
of that.
it's just whether it's in the clerical wizard spell list to actually learn.
It's definitely the wizard list.
Well, then I should be able to.
Yeah, it's definitely in the wizard list, so yeah, you should be able to do that. Because I looked at doing Wall of Flame, but chose Wall of Force instead.
Though you do get news that the city of Darkin has recalled all its troops from all its forts to Darkin City.
So does that mean we
Where's
should head
Darkin
there?
City on the map?
Darkin City on the map is the red circle.
Oh, down there.
The red city.
Who's got?
They're basically recalling everything. All the forts that protect the borders from other people are all been brought in.
Who's got Redrian's staff? Because maybe we should also get in contact with him and find out with this retreat, does he want us going back towards him or to protect the city in general? Because he is technically the one who's been directing where we go.
So wasn't one of his last instructions to basically think for ourselves in this
Yeah.
Well, he wants us to think for ourselves, but what we do is we do report into him regularly and give him updates, because that is one of our other roles.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, if it's logical that all force is getting pulled back into Darkin.
But also if, I don't know, say the Tuesday group ended up being in contact with him and know that he might have other stuff for us to do once we've retreated to a certain point, maybe that's not a bad idea.
You know if these automatons can be charmed?
There is no guarantee.
That's the kind of question I was after.
There's a
and
possibility they can be, but you have to get close enough to do it.
I know.
the other thing that
and-
Martin pointed out to me was that we all have the elements in balance, so we might be more useful to Eritrean in like quests to stop the master, and that's one of the reasons why you guys all got like Chauvel got fire items, you got air items, so
And you get notification from Redrian that he's recalling all his groups to start calling in all favors that they have amassed over the last 10 years to try to get anything they can into Darkin.
Yeah.
So he says he must make a stand for Darkin. It's the other thing
The belief is that through prophecy you got from Drazzle is if Darkin falls, the world falls afterwards.
Okay.
So is he asking us to go out to like the earth cold and the air cold
Don't know. He said he's recalled everyone to Darkin
city to find out what he wants?
to basically plan for how to
Ah,
bring in all the allies that you can.
so we are being called in to
Okay.
meet with him. Well, that takes away the need to use stuff.
There's a large forest and stuff between Darkin
And news also reaches you that the elves are gone. There's just no elven forces anywhere to be seen.
We don't have any elves in this group, do we?
Not. I apparently have orphan elves. God, that's a bit interesting. On my lands, but it's provided presuming that the
Same
the
here, I've got a
boarding's
few
got.
elves, but
So with that, we have a flashback to Chauvel.
Yeah, we've got about 2 months.
So what does what's something interesting that happened to Chauvel in the autumn time?
Autumn time. Chauvel probably had a very, very long reflection period with her
Spy!
god about Not so much about spying, about all the events that have gone on and what orders that Gregor is asking for. Moving forward with this war.
I will
Chance
give
that you become an
a
Earthbreaker.
religion roll with advantage.
Religion roll with advantage.
I was gonna say, without having to open up my book, is it Earendel?
It was Ixion.
Ixion. Is Ixion with the Brotherhood of the Shadows?
No, Ixion is the Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire. Is that the good?
They're the people wanting to carpet bomb the region and cause genocide of everyone
okay,
who
so
knows the
they're
name of the
one
land.
of the bad guys.
This is the
that's
reason why I always open up by saying my morals
I
will be
knew,
checked.
but I couldn't remember which bad guy group it was.
Fire bad.
Yeah, there was two bad groups. And I didn't remember.
So, while you're in communion, you get quite a chorus of other voices also asking lots of questions. You feel like one of thousands.
Oh.
It's almost like every follower of Ixion is asking, what the fuck is going on?
What the beep are you doing, man?
I feel like at this stage it's what the beep beep beepity beep 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 is going on.
Can I do whatever the fuck I want at this point in time?
There's no response from Ixion then? It's just people asking and no
there's
answer?
this chorus of everyone seem to be asking almost the same thing. And you seem to be getting back almost like responses of, we'll get back to you, we're busy right now.
Please hold. You are
call
5,625 in the
Your call
queue.
is
I'm
important.
sorry.
Yeah.
But Ixion message bank is currently full.
Yeah.
Your prayer is important to us. We'll get to you at an appropriate time in the future.
Just want to fix my internet connection.
My connection to my god. It's not working.
My morals are broken. Help me.
And you get the feeling that there's war happening everywhere. There's not just here.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Yeah. And the people of Tubak are also going to war.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the other.
Ethengarians are going to arms.
Do
You
you
don't
have
know who they're going to arms with, but they've all been recalled home.
do you have more dedication to one than the other?
As in.
Tubak versus X.
Tubak is the name of Ixion that he worships.
Oh, I see. Yep. Okay.
I've only got one.
Yep. Fair enough.
And
But many
apparently-
faces.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if Tubak is an Ethengarian god, does that summon Zal also?
I follow Yamuga,
I know. That
Yep.
is-
Yep.
And not the warmonger.
No, no. The happy plants and love and,
Yeah.
and joy and stuff.
Well, you are a cleric.
But in the
Ranger.
same time, Zal does get the vision of the Ethengarian people being recalled home. Not that you feel the pull, just that your god has let you know that your people are going to war.
Is there any Ethengarians that have sought shelter in my lands to get away from this?
No, any Ethengarian that hears the call generally goes.
Okay.
Not many people have the will to resist.
But you're not feeling the pull, so that's important.
Well, I've heard the call, but I presumably by what Mom said, I have a strong enough will, and I have more important things to care for and do than return back home right now.
And the entire Ethengarian messaging service has disbanded and returned home.
Oh wow, okay.
So the gnomes are gone, the Ethengarians are gone,
Yep.
and very soon the Karamakians might be drawn into the Thyathran War because they are a vassal kingdom, which means the Griffin Knights will probably be gone too. And they are the three forms of messaging between nations.
And there's no way with our connection to the Griffin Knights to prevent that.
Not that you know of. because they are literally vassals of the Thailand Empire.
Yeah. And they were out of all the cults still had the closest ties to.
Well, they were the friendliest of them. And the one less crazy. But they normally only carried diplomatic messages and not standard mail. They did that for some people.
So does that include the group that I have command of?
The group that you have, the Feathergale Knights, are not the Griffin Knights of Caramel.
Oh right, sorry. Right, that's why I'm getting confused.
It's just that there are multiple Griffin Knights because they're quite useful steeds.
Oh yes.
Oh, you were hiding quietly there. I wonder where
So,
No,
yes.
I've been
I thought
ruling.
maybe
I've been
locked in
ruling
a
over my
bedroom.
minions.
So, the rest of you all hear the dire warnings of various nations preparing for war, and one thing you do hear is that the Truogan have been forbidden to enter the war.
Forbidden to enter the war or world.
War. They were a card that one of your generals was holding to throw down and stop the master entering.
So why have they been forbidden?
No one knows.
Oh,
They just walked out. All the negotiators have left.
So the elves are gone, the Feywilds are gone, the gnomes are going.
The gnomes have been going over the last 300 years. They knew it was coming.
Yeah, right.
They're
They're very much gone.
They've been abandoning their nations in the region over the last 300 years. Yeah, they've got 3 locations left in the gnome world. One's in Rockholm, one's in Caramel Coast, and one's in Rome. So for the master to reach them would be quite extensive.
I'm just wondering if there's a way for us to attack this, or remove the souls from the machines rather than get around the machines themselves, because
Hammer.
there seems to be there. Well, things like anything fiend, like fiends tend to deal in trafficking of souls and other things like that. So I'm just wondering if there's a mechanism they can use
I
to
do have
pull souls
things
or
like
move them
gears
ways around.
and
Especially because these are not souls bound to their body. They're bound to. They've been pulled into a machine. So I'm just
I
wondering if there's a
presume
way.
Dispel Magic would be the best one.
yeah. So I have
But unlikely
gears
to
and
separate the
planar
soul from
binding.
the machine.
I think
Mm.
the problem is
so with-
numbers. There's too many.
And that because of the gnomish devices, the machine is the person.
Yeah,
okay.
and so with
So
planar binding, also
You have to be able to dispel a human and stop the human from having the soul for the
Yeah, okay.
spell magic to work on.
But the upside is, I think some of our spells will actually work on because they're controlled by a soul that can affect them. They're creatures, effectively.
They are sentient constructs.
Yeah,
just
so we can affect them with our spell.
more for easy exclusion. With planar binding, I can combine a celestial aura to do a task, and if cast at a high enough
Or a
level,
fate.
or a fade. If cast at a high enough level, I can get it done for a certain amount of time. So I could theoretically get a fiend, say, to take souls out of, say, an object or something like that, as you said. But when I looked into it, it wasn't something that was feasible to do, or necessarily something that I was capable of doing. I also looked into gears, which is kind of slightly similar in the sense that I can contract certain types of beings for carrying out certain tasks, and so that didn't work either. So just to try to save you looking
Yeah.
into those kind of spells, that was the result of those spells. And so I came back to what Mark was telling us.
One
which
thing
is,
Calcrix did learn about the Soul Forge is if you can destroy the Soul Forge, the creature's bound to become free willed.
Yeah.
Okay, where's the soul forge?
that's what we've got to figure out.
That
And
is
isn't
what
that
they
what the
believe
expedition-
hidden behind the Master's Lane.
Okay, so
One
if you
of
get
the
past the
things the
master's line, suddenly we've got a
expedition
plan here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but as soon as
isn't
you
that the
pass
one
the
that
master's
kills
line,
us?
you die.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Why
so-
is it guaranteed death?
Because it is in the Feydark. Once you cross the line, you enter the
certain people
But we were in the
can
Fade Out
go
before.
past Master
Not,
Line.
not that part.
One of them will be Calprix because she's got the
So
blood,
you would have to
and the other
become
one will be
undead,
I'm not
so
Fade
vampire.
I've had Fate Wild.
Oh, you're Fate Wild actually. No, so is Calprix the only one in the group that can cross the Master's Line?
It's the only one you know of who can do so.
Yeah.
And
So
that's partly due to you.
What do you need
Yeah.
to cross the line?
well, that's it.
Ooh.
We'll find out when we go back to Regiment, but I think a part of that might be that in
I have
in
to start
sessions-
fully worshipping her to get through.
No. It might be just in future sessions. You guys might be my support.
No,
Will I go across enemy lines?
Yeah, but
to
remember
scout?
how when I was in the Fey Dark, my powers went crazy?
Yeah.
If
well,
I start concentrating down that path, which I really don't want to go fully
I
crazy.
do have the support of the Queen of Darkness at the moment, so that might change things.
It's
I mean,
the best
Eve,
plan we've heard so far.
Eve is the Queen of Darkness's gift to help me out, but I will have to do
Hence,
something in
Fey
return
Dark
for
creature.
her. And that something in return may be sending me over the border, but I had a sense when we were talking on the Tuesday group that Calcrix will need support when she crosses that border.
Can we,
And it might be the support of her fellow party members
we
that she
find
needs.
out what we might need to cross the, I think this is the best way, because we can't fight a huge wave like this.
Well, one of the things
Yeah.
we'll need is a balance of the elements: fire, air, earth, entropy, water, and then we've got Feywild. So this group is the most
Do we have
elementally
the
balanced
balance?
group.
You do have a balance.
When you just say farewell, the only thing that popped into my head after you said all the elements was like, here's the Uno
Ah,
wild
yeah.
card. No.
That's
And I
kind of-
change it to yellow.
No, it's hard.
Yellow. So we've got red, blue. I don't know what yellow would represent.
That was, yeah.
Earth. Yeah.
Oh no, green would be earth.
Yeah, green would be Earth.
Green is usually yes.
So,
And the +4 card is darkness.
yeah, that's it. So and is that correct, Martin? As far as me remembering the
You do remember that you can cross the lines, but you're not sure you can cross them yet.
no, and as I said, it would be in some point in the future that might be the scenario that's happening is that our group may play an integral role in answer to Anton Gary's question is how we could figure out where the Soul Forge is. We might be the group that is scouting that out, finding that Soul Forge, and then maybe destroying it. Maybe. All
You're under
maybes.
the awful realization that this is probably going to be a very hard thing to do, and a lot of us might falter along
Yep.
the way.
Yeah, we're well aware of that.
So, what artifact are we going to destroy?
You have to destroy the Soul Forge.
Forge.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I've only seen one major forge being destroyed by throwing in an artifact. So, what artifact are we going to use to destroy it?
Well, we
It
might have to
wasn't
find that
one
another time.
artifact, it was a shopping list of artifacts.
The description of one of my
He
forms.
actually threw a bag of artifacts in there.
There was only one. What the hell was in that thing then?
Literally a shopping
A
list.
shopping list of stuff that got
That's-
destroyed.
Okay, so we need to get a whole.
That's really
Well,
cool.
we can start with
So I was
Ritter
just like, oh, hang on.
stuff. Because we're not coming
Turn
back.
into a fake.
Yeah.
You would expect it to be a
And that's it. That's why
artifact
you're
of magic.
wild.
Wildcard. Yep. Yeah.
And I
okay, so
think
It has to- it has to be an artifact of life.
Part of
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
helps
something,
in the sense
that,
of
brings
if
life.
I'm sick or
Brings
away
life.
from the game, there is someone who can
I
stand
know.
in for
Where's those seeds?
entropy.
Mm.
Yeah, I've still got my black
I've
beans.
got
I've
them
got my
hidden
beans.
in my secret chest. In my actual chest.
I've got a. What will happen if you just throw the seeds into the.
You might need all 5.
You
Yeah.
might need all 5. So it's good that I've got 2 of them.
See.
But I haven't told
One
people.
of them is. Dracula's
So
still got,
the,
I
the,
reckon.
the fact that
He
I've got
doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any.
so just a reminder, the fact that I have 2 is player knowledge. As far as this party's concerned, we only have 1. And you guys may not remember that I have it because the god the smiling cat god, the Cheshire cat that we all see when we forget what's related to the seeds, Caracrix has been the only one to figure out that that's actually a god and that the god is making us forget. And she's only getting limited bits of memory of that back because she's working on her downtime. We do have two, but the players know that.
But every time you think about them, your character forgets.
Yeah, so the characters only remember that we got one, and they
Or
don't
I'm saying
remember
getting
what happened
confused
to
as
that
the one that was on the village is also the same one as the Elven one.
And because Caracrix
Are they the
doesn't
same
wanna
or not the same?
You're not sure.
make you, well, one's from Wenda, I know that, and I think I'm around earning enough knowledge to know where the second one comes from soon. But I have to talk about that with Mum.
And there is a third one stuck on the World Mountain in the middle of Irendi, planted on the top.
Screw that.
It was planted there by Wednesday's group to get it outside of other people's reach.
Fair enough.
So if
That
we have to
works.
get them all together, that's
Yeah,
going to be
but
an
there's
interesting
an
trick.
issue when you plant the damn things.
It does change the environment around it.
Well,
And also, isn't there a
what other was
curse?
from the winery?
They,
So yeah, we got one from the winery.
so
It's in my journal.
the two Ariadna has is from when they're in the
Yeah.
Okay, so you now will be starting next session with the story continuing from rendering side of things.
Yep.
Tonight was just the intro to the season.
Oh, we're fucked.
So,
oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
literally, they were facing a warforged with the swords popping out of their hands, or actually firing apple-sized shot at people that would explode.
I feel like you
fireballs.
guys missed out with having all the so on the Tuesday group, this is the first one, we were set up here, and what we saw was originally just a mass of little soldiers, and then out popped bigger and bigger and bigger miniatures.
So they started off facing these little guys.
And we're like, all right, okay, this is you know.
And
this-
then they had floating ones
Yeah.
coming in.
then those turned up, and they're to size.
And then they had blade ones coming
And then yeah, they came out.
And then they had walking cannons come out.
Yeah. And we were told
And on the
that
Wednesday night, they also had these guys coming out as that was a cannon firing at them.
yeah. And they also, so the original first one he put out, they were size to size,
Yeah.
but then the blade guys were bigger again, and then the cannon one was bigger again.
Yeah.
So massive, massive forces. And as it's coming out, we're just like, you know, the first one was oh shit, then the next one was oh bleep, and then the next one was oh bleepity bleep. And yeah, so it kept going, and
This
It
is
was
eerily
punishing.
reminiscent of the other Friday where we had thing dragged
Yeah.
out from under the
yeah, it's very similar to the goblin situation.
And they hit it all behind my
And then the
screens. I'm just going.
giants.
We need to find a, we need to find a node who knows about these things.
I have a refuge and a bunch of gnomes on my land. So, I've
So
got
you may
location.
end up heading to the gnomes of Karamikos or the gnomes of Orendi. They both have that information. But you also will end up being sent to speak to the primal gods.
Okay.
Because of all the groups, you have the most chance of getting their attention.
Yeah.
They're
Because
already
we're
watching.
Rainbow of
But they're already watching us.
Just to give you a
That's
small,
what I said. You have the most chance of getting their attention.
a small
What does
taste
death
of names that you might encounter on my known land. We've got the manager of my main coffee shop type thing is Arazalika, and his her partner is Carabia, and their children are Araba and Bika. So anyone who knows about coffee knows Arabica is one of the main coffees. So, and if you look at the two
So
parents'
does Beaker
names,
beep a lot?
but if you look at the two names, you'll notice Arazalika is a combination of Brazil, where Arabica comes from, and Caribbean is a mix of the type of being that Barrior comes from. So, yeah, there will be a lot of puns hidden in there.
I'm a Dr. Hunt.
We need to see what these elemental items do.
That's what I hope to have done by next session for you.
But
And
yeah,
actually have it connected together.
I don't know if Martin will have some gnomes from Iranian Caribbean or something like that. I'll ask him for gnomes.
I just want to know if Warforges are affected by darkness.
Yeah.
And if
I
they
am
are,
curious to how much
that's
downtime we
that's
have in Outlands, though.
advantage.
Yeah, it is.
How many days?
Probably at least a decent amount of time. But you were had to head off to war early because the master moved faster than most people believed,
Yeah,
and went longer than he did the year before.
and he had forces much stronger and much more organised than we were.
Much more powerful
Yeah,
than
that.
Well, he sent his first wave to get intel by those he killed. That was the first year of his conquest, was getting intel. And all those he killed got dragged back.
Yeah. So
And
the
that's-
first one would be about killing as many different races as he could.
Okay, so if you want to add anything else, I might end up putting it on end credits, and then we can talk after.
Sounds good.